just about set for a start. Certainly there is an air and there is a big crowd. So here's the first bounce, and you can hear the crowd already out at Elizabeth. It's Sturt against Central District, the reigning premier, taking on the Double Blues, and we'll have a secondary bounce, and isn't that the way of the modern game, Tim Ginniver?
Good to have a good attack on the ball early. Get up off the bottom of the pack and give it back to the umpire, I say. So we're in the middle of the ground. Players congregating around. Bishop trying to get a knock away. Does it well to Squire. Couldn't get a possession away. Chris Gowns off to Thomas. Quick kick around his body, up towards centre forward. Ford's there. Just pushed it forward. Stolen by Bello. Good little give off. James Gowns going to go over the top, wider still. Finds Stevens just on his left. Took too long. Rubbed it along the ground. Wisdom, whose form's been brilliant. Not a good handball. Intercepted by James Gowns around his body. Goal! The Dogs are away at home. The first goal of the afternoon to Central Districts. One straight, and Sturt yet to score.
Really see that the start of the game is a real key today, especially for Sturt, if not so much for Centrals. I mean, out of 19 games that have been played this year, the team that has won the first quarter has gone on to win 18 of them, so only one team has come from behind. See, it's just purely the Centrals' pressure they put on the ball carrier then that enabled Woosnam to turn the ball over. Unfortunately, you can't turn it over against Centrals. They're going to hurt you on the scoreboard. First goal of the game to Centrals.
So you've been studying your stats already, Andrew. Good to see. As the ball back in the middle, and immediately Arnold takes possession. Sturt comes the other way. Lightning hand pass out to Howman. Gets the ball on the boot quickly into the Sturt forward line and leading out Atkinson. And just behind play, White took out his man to leave a path for Atkinson. And he'll shoot from perhaps 40 metres.
I think Stephen White was a little lucky there to get away with shepherding off the ball.
Certainly took him out. He didn't miss him, did he, Michael?
You can see how important mistakes in the midfield are going to be, mate. Central's turned the ball over there in the midfield. Sturt got it. Someone sitting forward of the play. Now you have a shot at goal.
Well, they play a similar style, and I know there was a suggestion before the game that we'd see a shootout. Let's see how it goes. Here's a shot from Atkinson. No mistake. It's a goal apiece, and we've travelled just 2 minutes in this game.
I mean, Brady Atkinson, a real quality player, a real quality finisher. It's been the advantage of having Matner and Sheedy, Clum that have been able to play in the middle for Sturt, enabling to play Brody Atkinson up forward along with Damien Squire. And it really has a potent forward line for Sturt. And as I said, Brody Atkinson, a real quality player, quality finisher. Those sort of half chances that he kicks in, you need to take against Centrals, and Sturt are going to need to take them today.
Back in the middle. Contest between Arnold and Bishop. All important. Bounce favoured Arnold, but Bishop got right over the top. Did well, just tried to flick it back to Sheedy. But a lot of players over the top of that, and we'll have another bounce.
We might just have a quick look at the Central's bench while we've got a pause in play, because it's a quality bench. Have a look at it. Quinton Graham, Simon Arnott and Adam Sultala. They'd be top 10 players in any other club.
Yeah, the depth here at Elizabeth, outstanding. Arnold went up, didn't really get hold of the possession. One of the gowns was taken to the ground. And we'll have a restart there.
You spoke about the depth, Tim. They really haven't had any injuries this year, and probably for 2 years they haven't had any injuries at Centrals. Very stable lineup.
That's true. Andrew Rogers, exclusive to the ABC with those special comments. We'll be getting plenty of those today.
Well, it's interesting we spoke too that about all Centrals needed to top them off was a good forward target, and they've managed to get Daniel Shell back from Adelaide. So very interesting to see how he goes.
Good start though, both sides getting a goal. Another poor bounce taken by Wetherell off the wicks. Quick kick in towards forward, but look at Hicks with courage in front. And good play by White, made him earn the kick. But Centrals get the advantage free kick and work it up to the wing position with James Gowns. He's having a look up forward. Knows the ground well as he drives down towards Mark Bello. He took it and almost played onto himself. Got hold of it. Under 10 stuff. 50 out. Drives at the empty goal square. Everybody's running back to try and touch it. They can't. It's travelled over their heads too far. And Marco Bello scores another one for the Dogs. That's his first. The Dogs second there. 2 goals straight. Sturt a 1 goal straight.
Isn't it great to see flow-on football we're seeing here in the SANFL, unlike what we're seeing in the AFL where they're flooding back, creating all sorts of problems. They're just making you see Marco Bello, it's just flowed from the Central's back line. They switched the play really well. Hicks showed a lot of courage to get in front of White, Bello plays on, just assessing his options. Nothing down the ground, kicks long to the square. Central's players flood back. Unfortunately, no Sturt players able to get a hand on it. Central now get the ascendancy.
6 points of difference. Bishop again over the top. McGowan was in there over the ball. So was Cooper for Sturt. Finally, hand pass out wide. It comes to Hopwood. Hopwood bangs it on the boot under pressure. Just gets it towards half forward. The punch came in there from Thurston's. It's number 28 for Sturt, battling with Ford and eventually across the line on the far side of the ground.
Toby Thurston's will be keen to impress today. Was very close to playing for Port Power this week. Another good game today. Might just be the thing that gets him over the line next week.
So Arnold takes front spot. Just palms the ball down in the end. Now to McGowan. Off to Danny Stevens. Props it up in front of goal. Out comes Shell and Threadgold. Neither could take it. Now it's across to Shell. Opportunity on the left leg. Finishes the job. Centrals have another one.
They've started really well here, Centrals. I mean, I think they're going to be seriously challenged today. And it's a real mental barrier for them. They realise that Sturt are the next best in the competition at the moment. And so they're treating it more like a final. So Sturt are going to have to lift their work rate. Shell straightens his body, which is important. Would have preferred him to straighten his body completely and get onto his natural leg, his right foot. But being an AFL listed player, he should be more than adequate on his left foot. Finishes nicely. The pressure goes back onto Sturt now to respond to Central's great start.
18 plays 6 back in the middle. Bishop has contested well against Arnold so far. It's a good bounce. Neither player got a hand on it. Danny Stevens took it out the middle, gave it to Steinburner. Switched it over to Hopwood again, who always comes off his half-back flank and earns those possessions. It's that half-back now for Sturt. And pretty much a stalemate there. We'll have a bounce just on the corner of the square.
Central just winning the contests around the ball at the moment. Just winning far too many for Sturt. Sturt need to get more of the contests around the ball.
See if they can do it here. Bishop just staying away from Arnold, trying to get a run in the jump. He got a hand to it. Weatherall got taken down by Slade.
And while the ball is being stopped and restarted, we'll have a look at the bench for Sturt. Unchanged team this week, but these guys aren't of the quality that sit on the Central bench. Geddes coming back in, Reece Schultz and Big Mark Conway.
And we're going to have another restart. So it's 3 times almost on the exact same spot because players are desperate to get their hands on the football first. So far, Centrals have come up with the ball almost out of all 3 contests there. Slade, McGowan getting on the bottom of the packs. Arnold again. Sheedy nearly got a kick away, couldn't do so. McGowan again on the bottom. Drags the ball up, gives it back to the umpire. That's what you got to do early in a game. So 8 minutes into this contest, it's been a good free-flowing game. Besides this little patch here. Arnold gets a thump away. Should run to Thurston's. Gets rid of Ford well. Then gives it off. That was good play. Wicks out half back, swings it back around. Atkinson in front, got good hands, always has. Umpire slips over in the middle of the ground. Get up, Kev, get up. He's done well to do that. Looking for Clun, that wasn't a good kick. Trying to recover onto it was Matner. Arnold's in there as well. Ball just slipped out the back. Danny Stevens broke free. Centrals are away. Great kick, Danny Stevens. Finds James Gowans. And inside 50, he's looking to give off. And he's now got his brother running. And if that ain't brotherly love, what is? Off he goes, Christopher. Aims at goal. Should kick it. And does. So he's got his first. 4th straight to the Dogs. 1 to Sturt.
See the importance, and you don't like to pick an event out there, but it was a Brody Atkinson kick that missed the target at half forward. They just can't afford that against Central Districts. They're going to hurt you eventually. You can see the Gowans. There's a bit of cracker magic about the Gowans as they just work together so well. They seem to know where each other are. The thing is, Centrals are very efficient. Their decision making is very good. If you do make a mistake, you're going to hurt on the scoreboard.
Chris Gowans, 16-4 for the season. He doesn't miss too many opportunities. And Centrals hasn't missed one yet. Sturt get out of the middle. Chambers just gets the ball to ground. Atkinson was good enough, but he only got it as far as a Raider. And now Hay breaks free, goes long with the left leg, looking up towards Ford. Thurston's comes over the top, can't bring it to the ground. Now he's got possession, but he's in trouble. Wicks overran it. Now the opportunity for McGowan. His handball wasn't good enough. Sturt somehow got that ball forward. Now it's with Wicks. One bounce, nobody behind in the centre corridor, and eventually he goes towards Chambers. He's brought the ground. Sold the dummy Slade, gave off a handball that wasn't all that effective. Coming the other way, Sturt charging in there, and they were rewarded with a free kick to Cooper. Cooper comes around. The boy from Harndorf gets it up, looking for White. Strong at the front. Ball comes down. Mattner almost roves it. Now it's cleared by Centrals again. Under pressure, though. Clun put on a tackle, and Slade pushed it across the line. And there is plenty of pace on in this game.
Wasn't it great to see the intensity of both teams? I mean, Sturt have had to increase their intensity. Centrals are away to a fly here. Sturt have to lift to be able to match Centrals what they've done around the ball so far.
Thrown in Atkinson with an opportunity. Hopwood in there, trying to get his hands on it. Go towards the boundary line as a good defender does. And restarts play 30 metres away from that Sturt goal.
And you would think there would be plenty of pressure. I mean, they're the 1 and 2 sides in the competition as far as tackling is concerned. So you would think they're basing a lot of their play around that. And you'd think there's going to be plenty of pressure on.
White takes it out of the ruck contest, a bit easy. Spilt free though. Gowns looking for a handball. Wicks should intercept here. Give it up quickly to Weatherall around his body with a quick kick. Atkinson should stay down. He goes up and takes a mark.
Nice call, Tim.
Stephen White again just allowed him to go up and kept his man out of the contest. So very unselfish.
So little things in football that make a difference, and Stephen White's done it twice so far. He's been prepared to sacrifice his body so that his fellow teammate in Brody Atkinson in both occasions been able to take an uncontested mark.
Brody Atkinson only eyes for the football. Took the mark. Would be barely 20 metres out. He's normally a good kick. He's already kicked one today. Make it 2. Sturt are back in it. They're 2 straight 12, trailing the Dogs 4 straight 24.
Yeah, Sturt respond to Central's challenge. Just off, as we go off the play there, you see Brody Atkinson trying to fire one of the Gowans boys up. There is a school of thought around the SANFL. If you can get in the Gowans' faces, then they actually lose the plot a little bit and they will take their mind off the football. You don't quite catch it on camera there, but Stephen White's good work in enabling Brody Atkinson to go in uncontested. An important finish there for Sturt. I spoke about those half chances they got to make. They finished another one there, so they put themselves back in the game.
So back in the middle, as we see 12 points the difference. Bishop does well, got it down to Cooper. And in the end, the Gowans, James this time gets in there. It's almost like they are one, let's face it. They work together so well. The Central's boys generally. They've proven in the last couple of seasons just how good they work together. Bishop got the better of that contest. Clun couldn't take the ball. Now it's on the ground. Again, the Gowans boys try hard. It was Hopwood that flicked out the hand pass. Eventually it comes to Hicks. Hicks's delivery out in front. Chris Gowans works his man under the ball up. Fresh air shot finally. Still over it. Still a chance. Now he gets possession, or does he? Well done by Curtis. Just hassled him. Now he takes him to ground. Umpire says play on. Umpire probably could have given a decision in favour of Sturt there. He opted for the bounce.
You can see the difference in the pressure ratings there. I mean, Sturt, as I said, one of the top tackling players. The Gowans just makes a little bit of a mistake. I mean, they're just putting a little bit more pressure than what Centrals are used to.
The ball cleared away by Sturt this time. Clun does his best to get his man under the ball. Hicks comes to help out. In fact, it's Thomas. Thomas, though, under pressure. Oh, he's pinged him for holding the ball. Now it's called play on. Clun's under pressure, though. Wasn't the best of calls by the umpire. As a result, Centrals with the numbers over the ball. Eventually they clear it. It goes straight to Wicks. Opportunity for Sturt to go into their forward line. Almost the ball smothered. The kick over the top of White's head. Inside that forward 50. Here comes Hicks. He's steady at the back. Delivers to Bello. Makes him work pretty hard, but he's over it and he'll come back to his left leg. He does so up forward. Shell's leading for him. That's the direction he goes. Good strong mark. Now they'll stream down inside that forward 50. Shell. He's 60 out. You'd think it's beyond his range.
He's going to have to work very hard today, Daniel Shell. Chris Redgold's a very high-quality fullback, probably one of the best ones going around the SANFL. So if he thinks he's just going to come back to the SANFL and kick a bag of goals, so he's going to have to work very hard for them.
Well, he's shooting for his second. Kicks from 60. It's not going to make it. In the square, big mark. Well done. That was Thurston's. So Sturt will bring it clear from defence. A good little pass out to Cooper.
Cooper in the back pocket. Just getting away from the arms of Gowans as he chips short. You've got to be careful with those ones. Turning inside out was Campbell. Got it to Thurstons. He's running. Comes up the centre half forward. Forcing back Chambers, trying to make a contest. Did so. Squire in front. He's got to get hold of the ball today. Plenty of times. Wicks slipped it out wider still. Good attack by Matner. Picked up by Squire. Quick kick this into the nest of Central's players. Monoman's forward. Probably got himself into some trouble there. Hicks now off to Geister. They should be away with a bit of clearance to the wing. Quickly kicked by Walton. Up forward. Thurstons did it easy away from Arnold. Stepped inside him again just to make sure he embarrassed him. Got it up there. Matner off. Running Wisdom. Got to give off quickly under pressure. Sheedy over the top. Sturt running. You're not going to give in today. Another one back. Running hard's Howman. Back to Sheedy. Pass has got to be good. Hit Chambers does. Good effort by Chambers. Got down as low as his hairdo. And took the mark. Nearly 50 out.
It's just a shootout in the midfield. I mean, Central's turned the ball over. Sturt are running back the other way. If Sturt turn the ball over, Central's then get it. So it's a real shootout at the moment. Both sides backing their on ballers in.
So Chambers 12-12 this season. He's not the best shot. Gives this a good roost. He's better further out, I say. Go, Chambers. I'll wrap you up, mate. Good on you, buddy. You got your percentage in the right area now. 13 goals, 12 for him for the season. But that's his first for the afternoon. And Sturt, 3 goals, 18. Plays Central's 4 goals, 24.
Yeah, with the loss of French and Feast and all that, Chambers is one that needs to stand up. You can see Sturt running the ball through the midfield, through the wing. Eventually he comes to Chambers out on a long lead, just gets his hands underneath it, takes a grab. Timmy June never doubted him from outside 50. Cole umpire never doubted him. It's gone straight over his head for a goal. Sturt replied to Central again.
Yeah, restructure for Central Districts. Kynan Ford's gone into the ruck. Arnold has come off and Simon Arnott has gone to take station at centre half forward.
Sturt working hard, trying to get the ball away from the middle. In the end, it's turned over. Steinburner just boots it high down there. No real target. Campbell comes out, meets it for Sturt. Curtis then, hand pass off to Woosnam, then Campbell again. Gee, they work it slick, but then they make a mistake. Stevens just capitalises. The ball turned over. Shell sitting on his own. Hello. Nice mark. Umpire will take him back to the goal line, will he? No, the umpire says have a shot from 20 metres. He should kick it anyway.
Yeah, good umpiring now. I mean, there wasn't too much in the contact after the thing. Just to let him know that he's still around the place. If there's, once again, it's the Central's forward players that are trying to keep the ball in the air, putting the pressure on the Sturt defenders. Eventually the turnover came. The handball just didn't quite hit. It ends up with Shell having a shot at goal.
And he kicks his second. So Central's 5 goals straight and Sturt 3 goals straight, and we played 18 minutes of pretty good football.
It's certainly very high quality football at the moment. I mean, both sides are in the peak condition. They're both very much full of confidence. See, Danny Stevens gets a kick forward. Shell just resting in the pocket. Thurstons had made up to make up numbers for Sturt, running the ball out. Just previous to that, we saw the handball that actually missed. Now that's the key there. Now he's sitting back in the pocket on his own, gets his second for the quarter. It's been moved to centre half forward. Let's see about his aerobic fitness, considering he hasn't played much footy for the Adelaide Crows.
And sorry about that. Chris Gowan's just coming off to be attended for a bleeding nose. As he's walking towards me, I was thinking it's about time we got numbers on the front so we can tell James and Chris apart.
Bishop wins in the centre again. Howman gets a handball up towards Weatherald. He's taken by McGowan and put to the ground. And we'll have a bounce down inside the centre square now. Good point by Mike Parsons early. Bishop's on top. He's definitely on top in the middle there, and Central's took the option of dropping Schooler today. And you just wonder whether Ford can do the job against Bishop. Bishop nearly took it out of the air then towards Weatherall. Steinburner got it over his head to Stevens. So Michael Stevens drives up towards the forward line, diving low and taking a good mark. No, play on, said the umpire. So it was a little unlucky. Hooked around his body, Slade ends up with Woosnam and thought about playing on, then put his hand up and said, no, I wasn't. Ah, don't know what you're talking about. So he goes back for his kick. It's a handball. Off the Threadgold is running. Up towards a wing position. Bishop's there. Should hold it. Does. Oh, nearly. Howman took it off and stole it. but it is his teammate, so that's okay. Wetherill, the handle wasn't good. Ford came crashing through from centre half back. Tried to make up for it, couldn't do so. It's taken away now up to the forward line. Another turnover, ends up with Shell. I think I was unfair to Wetherill. I think it was Burton that turned it over.
It's a deliberate ploy, Sturt, to try to bring it back through the midfield, try to bring it through the centre corridor. You cannot go wide at Nap Oval, as it's called these days, because it's just too long, it's too far, it's such a big oval.
So Shell, a kick from right on the 50-metre arc. Hasn't got a long kick, but I reckon he might have just snuck it in. Umpire's going to agree with him. And he suddenly kicked his third. So Centrals quickly move along to 6 goals straight, 36. The Blues, 3 goals straight, 18.
Daniel Shell's benefit from the tackling, the harassment, and what the Centrals midfielders and their forwards are doing in holding the ball in the area. Daniel Shell's been able to sit back. His players actually run off to try to create for the Sturt. He hasn't chased him out now. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not really sure. As a forward, haven't played too many games there. But he's reaped the rewards from that pressure in the midfield.
Has to be right, Bucky, when he's got 3 goals halfway through the first quarter.
Clun's handball just didn't quite find the man, but eventually Sturt working hard. And Clun ends up with it, drives it in forward, looking for it. Oh, almost finding White. Atkinson was good enough on the road. Can he kick the goal? Oh, my God, a minor score. That's the first one today. You almost expected that to go in.
And once again, half chances I spoke about, Neil. There was a half chance and they couldn't quite finish. I mean, Brody kicking around the corners. In some instances, you have to do that where the pressure's on. Just kicking around the corner, didn't quite get it back far enough. It's a late goal for Sturt, could be all important.
Hicks moving it inboard to McGowan. Drives it out very wide. In fact, too wide, out of bounds on the full. Weira couldn't get it. Steinburner couldn't get there. So Sturt, they can chip it in here. Howman's made some space on his own. He chips back wider still. Trying to find Matner. Does so. That wasn't a good kick to Clun, who tried to grab hold of it. McGowan did well to get it to Gowans. An underground handball. They dug it away. And they're away. Hopwood up the line. Hugging the line tight to Arnott. Not a good kick. Slade had to take it on the half volley. Got it up there to Bello. Onto his left foot. Going to a square. That's Bacon again. He's already kicked one like this. Nearly 2. Wetherill had to double back. The thread goal, I should say. They're under pressure, making a fair mess of it. The thread goal's taken out fairly hard by Ford. And Sheedy at last relieves a bit of pressure for the Blues. Toby Thurston's just inside half back. Makes himself a mark and just slows things down.
Yeah, not a bad ploy by Toby. I mean, there's plenty of pressure on out there on the Central's defence.
Plenty of heat on the boundary line as well. Bishop has just come off, replaced by Conway, taking a stroll around the boundary line with the ice vest on.
You see that? Just enjoying his time in the sun, I'm sure. So the ball on the far side of the ground. And Centrals have opened up a handy little lead of 17 points. Ball in dispute. Umpire will come in surely and bounce this one.
We might have to actually invest in one of those ice vests for Mike Parsons down there.
I think he's used up all the sun cream for the day. As the ball's down, far side of the ground, working hard, Sturt over the ball, just can't get a clean possession. And Clun, with the blonde rinse through the hair, just gets up and hands the ball over to the umpire. Michael Stevens just coming off the ground. Part of the Central's rotation.
Chris Gowans controlled the bleeding nose.
He's with a wad of cotton wool, I'm sure. So Hereda, virtually uncontested, just takes the mark. Atkinson slows him up sufficiently to give his runners a chance to pick up the opposition. Still loose was Arnott. Not much now, though, on offer further up the ground for Arnott. Just back to Hereda. Hereda plays on quickly. Just gets it up towards half forward. And Sturt at the front, Curtis just takes it over the line.
Yeah, we've gone from a real gung-ho shootout here to all of a sudden it's a very tight and in-tight team, just quite happy to play at the last 5 or 10 minutes of this first quarter.
Thrown in. Trying to dig himself up a handball. Clun's been good. He's getting in close and making a contest. He was taken high, and that was fair enough. But he's earning the first footy. And,
this is his 7th possession
so far. 7 possessions so far. So earns himself a free kick. Come up tight to the line, which is fair enough, but in front taking an easy mark, Hopwood. Plays on quickly. They love late goals, the Dogs. Arnott inside the Slade, through the centre corridor. Contest up there, goes over the back of the pack, that's dangerous. But Wislam's there to clean up. Almost. Gets it off to Campbell. Comes inboard, that's good play. That's Sheedy. Another handball off, Campbell kept running, that's good play. There's Chambers, he'll hold his ground. Over the back, like Superman was Hay. Weatherald had no choice but to back through that. Got taken. Hopwood's kick was not pretty, but bounced inside the line with a bit of luck, and we'll have a throw in centre wing. The grandstand side of Elizabeth Oval.
Yeah, Sturt's still endeavouring to run the ball through the midfield. It is a high aerobic capacity they're going to have to keep up all day to run with Centrals.
The ball back in. White has been thrown into the ruck. Ineffective. Chris Gowans gets the ball forward. Curtis can't get possession. Just forward by Walton. Towards the boundary line goes Stevens. Able to turn it inside. Chris Gowans on his own. Marks it. Handball over the top. Too easy for Centrals. And another goal to his brother James. And Centrals just doing it very, very easily at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't a late goal really hurt Sturt? I mean, they've worked really hard to stay in the contest all day. Bretton Phillips has said, look, we'll back our midfield against Central's midfield. So far, the Central midfield is on top, and they've been much too clever, much too smart. You can see a great decision there by Danny Stevens. Look, let's kick the ball to the top of the square, give ourselves an opportunity, and you can see the result. Late goal in the quarter, very important for Centrals.
So unselfish play there, one brother to another. They must fight if it doesn't happen. Back in the middle, Clun again. Worked hard, the white-haired one. Gets it off to Atkinson, who slips over. Gets his feet back. Good quick hands. Ends up with Chambers. Dodges around one, long handball. Tries to keep it inside Weatherall. Slipped over. All the Central players are trying to push it over the line. Weatherall stole it, but it was already out. And we'll have to have a throw in. About 70 metres away from the Sturt goal. Late in this first term.
You see what pressure does. Weatherall very much in the clear then. Unfortunately, didn't take the ball with him. Thought he was hot from a Centrals player.
Atkinson, great hands off the pack. Slipped it away. That's a good long left foot kick. Didn't quite make the target, and that was Cooper. So Sturt with another behind. 3-2-20. 22 behind. Central 7 straight, 42.
Yeah, once again, I'm probably halfway on a little bit. I'm talking about the half chances. Another half chance there to Cooper. Just couldn't quite finish. Would have given Sturt some impetus going into quarter time.
Paul Thomas has come into this Centrals line to do a job on Damien Squire, and I think he's doing a very good job. Squire hasn't been sighted at this point.
Centrals just calm under pressure, work the ball out of defence from that kick in. Thurstons comes from behind, knocks it forward. Conway with possession. Off to Woosnam, he's running hard. He gives it to Sheedy. Sheedy, he's got a lead out wide though. It's Atkinson. And the siren goes as Atkinson can't gather it. So what a quarter of football, certainly from Centrals. Very straight kicking. 7 straight goals, plays Sturt 3-2.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the game here. Very free-flowing. It's been exactly what the public want to see, exactly what the viewers at home want to see today. Both teams are set in the midfield. Well, look, we'll cop our lot in life. We'll go forward, we'll play on quickly, we'll move the ball quickly, get into our forward line quickly. So we're going to have a bit of a shootout here today. I mean, if the game keeps going the way it is, we're going to have some high scoring here today. I think Brett Phillips has got some readjustment to think that his midfield can actually go with the Centrals. I mean, Centrals rotate a lot of blokes through there. They're going to stay very fresh. They're going to try the ice fence on the boundary line, as we saw. They're going to try to keep their legs so that come the second half, they're still going to be running as hard as what they did in the first quarter later in the day. So Sturt have got some readjustment to do, and let's see what they can come up with in the second quarter.
So quarter time here at Elizabeth. Central District 7 goals straight, 42. 22 points the better of Sturt, 3-2-20.
In the middle again. Conway moving into the ruck for Sturt against Arnold. Ex-teammates. Conway coming from Centrals. James Gowns moving in quickly. Good quick hands, end up with Arnott. Kicks it long inside 50. Taking it hard, Shell, brought down the ground. And free kick, it's Walton. Walton had earned that free kick with his attack on the football. And that could be a costly one because it's 40 metres out dead in front.
I was going to commentate, Tim, on how important the first goal is going to be in this second quarter. I mean, Central's get it and they're away. It's 8 goals to 3 goals too. Sturt get it and they close it up and they just keep within touch. So important kick here at the start of the second quarter.
Campbell just a little high with his tackle and Walton makes him pay for it. Straight through the middle. They do not miss. They're 8 goals straight, Central Districts, 48. That is a 28-point margin over the Blues, 3-2-20.
Yeah, Tim Jennifer commentated perfectly. It was attack on the footy that actually got him the free kick. He was the one that was prepared to put his body in front. We can see the scrimmage. Once again, Central's get it out of the middle. Playing quickly. You see Walton's the one in front here. He's the one playing in front. Probably a little bit soft in the end. I mean, it wasn't anything really too high, but look, you make the most of your opportunities. He goes back and kicks a goal. Now there's a real pressure on Sturt.
28 points the margin. Back in the middle. Arnold just takes it out of the air. Then he gets pinged, or at least caught. Sturt working hard again. Howman over the ball. He's trapped. Umpire says, thank you, I'll have it.
Gee, Centrals are impressive the way they go about their football. I mean, in the middle of that pack there, Ricky McGowan just had a little tap on. He was prepared just to put his one. It wasn't a stat. Don't get any accolades for it. He was quite happy just to tap it on in the direction of his Centrals teammate.
Conway got it to Weatherall. Then he went back in after it. Still in there. Number 20 for Sturt. Got it forward to Clun. Clun the quick hands. Well done. Out to Howman and then Sheedy. Breaks into the open. Sheedy looks up long. Probably doesn't help his side with that one. And Thomas tracking it back, or was it Hicks? In the end, Geister pushes it across the line and we'll have a throw in on the far side of the ground, just in front of the scoreboard. And plenty of spectators out there. Good to see at local football in South Australia.
Yes, 3 spectators for Centrals at the start of the quarter. Daniel Stevens, Kynan Ford and Matthew Slade sitting on the bench.
Geister doing the ruck work. Got it to his opponent, White. Snapped it around his body. Could go through if it's shepherded by Chambers. I don't reckon anybody touched it. It's a goal to White. Yes. Great snap. A little bit of a blow in the ruck contest and White just snapped it around his body brilliantly and it keeps Sturt in the contest.
It's his first touch.
So, first touch and it was a valuable one. You just watch this. Snaps it around beautifully, but that's 26 plays 48.
Yeah, Stephen White, he's one of the key forwards for Sturt that has to stand up. I mean, Geister's done a really good job on him so far. He needs to impose himself on the game. I'll probably say it week in, week out. Certain players need to impose themselves on the game. Stephen White is very important to the forward structure of Sturt.
Yeah, he does try to grab the ball in the forward ruck contest every time, though.
I think Centrals would be aware of that. Sturt playing less men up forward for that ruck contest. As a result, Central's able to bring it out fairly easily to this side of the ground. Steinburner, his kick was pretty good for Gowans. Gowans was pretty good, almost took the mark. Chris Gowans looks back at the umpire, says, hang on, what was wrong with that?
He's never going to die wondering, is he, about asking the umpire. I mean, every time, if you've actually played against him, he's always yapping to the umpire, etc. So, but look, that's the way he plays his best footy, so be it.
He'd be a great cricketer. He'd be always on the appeal. Matner fumbled at the wrong time, closed down by Steinburner. Now it comes back to Conway, tries to force his way through. Sturt fumbling at vital times here. Matner goes in back after it. Eventually the umpire will take the ball.
Weatherall free kick.
Well spotted, Tim. And he's given away, Chris Gowans has given away a 25-metre penalty on top of it. Just stirring up a few of the Sturt boys and Sturt answering, at least at this stage.
Yes, the umpire not liking the appealing, I don't think.
Wasn't very appealing. Anyway, into the forward line for Sturt. Bad disposal. Centrals will come clear again, and they clear it to the far side out of defence.
Rick McGowan deep in the defensive area, running it out with pace. Ricky on his left foot up towards a half-back flank, but Wicks did well to just chip across and get in front of that contest. Took the mark well. Drops it out long. Oh, good grab. That's what we need from White. Been talking about it, Andrew Rogers saying must stamp his authority on the game. It's a little kick to Cooper. Must go back now and kick the goal.
In the goal square, Chambers for Sturt is struggling. He went down in a contest there in half forward, and he's not moving all that comfortably. Standing in the goal square, asking Cooper to kick the goal.
So Cooper, only be 30 metres out. No angle to speak of. He should nail this. They need it, the Blues. It's not a good looking kick. It's not going to clear the hands as, oh, has it? I reckon it just did. Yes. Well, not the best looking goal on record, but still gets them 6 points and gets them in the game again. 5 goals, 232, trailing Centrals 8 straight, 48.
And whilst Centrals have been super impressive here today, I mean, Sturt are just hanging in there at the moment. They're making the most of their opportunities. Another half chance. Wasn't the best kick off the boot, but it's got the 6 points. It's all that's really required. And so they close the gap, just a manageable gap at the moment. They can't afford to let it get out any further.
Stephen White with a big mark. That's what Sturt need up forward. Just forcing the ball forward, as Centrals are doing at the moment. Just got possession. Oh, in trouble was Walton, taken to ground. Bello just tried to get the quick kick forward. Now he's got possession again. Good vision. Just got away from his man. Got it to Steinberner, who farms it forward. Sturt working hard in defence. They get it out to the wing here. It's Matner on his left leg, his natural leg. Just goes for the short option. Off to Cooper. He's a left legger too. And Cooper has a look inside. Decides to go long and high to White. Late on the scene. Forces a contest, but the mark taken by Hay at the front. Two grabber. Looked like there were a number of hands on it, but the umpire was satisfied Hay had control. Looking to switch it to the far side of the ground. Successfully doing so to Switala. Switala in turn has a runner. It's Chris Gowans. Gowans in front of him has Arnold moving. Arnold gets a good bounce. Powell comes to close him down. Finally, Clun comes in on Graham. Clun kicks it off the ground. Rebounds to Sturt. Woosnam now. Well, odd handball, odd choice anyway. They work backwards. Woosnam still in trouble. Eventually clears towards the boundary line. Oh, the bounce eludes Wicks. That's unlucky. Back to Bello. In turn, shares it with Chris Gowans. Inside forward 50 he comes. Walton, best placed, takes the mark.
Yeah, 2 turnovers there by Dean Woosnam. I mean, he made a wrong decision, 2 wrong decisions, turns the ball over. He was lucky enough he recovered from the first one. The second one has come back to haunt him now. And we see Walton take a nice one-handed mark directly in front. So it's half chances again that Sturt make the wrong decision. Central's are going to make you pay for it.
So Walton for his second in the term. Oh,
Hooked it.
a set shot that misses from Centrals. We haven't seen that today either. In fact, we haven't seen anything miss for Centrals. So their first blemish on the score sheet. 8-1 plays 5-2.
Dean Woosnam's look-away handball, they look awfully good when they come off, and they make you look a bit silly when they don't.
Yeah, spot on there, Mike.
So Threadgold brings it back in, looking for Thurstons and Conway. Good work in the front of the pack though. Come out wide, picked up by Arnott. Round his body, Bello. That was a great kick. Bello now quickly gives off into the centre. Hopwood run down. They just switch it across the arc and find Switala. So Switala have a shot about 45 out, almost dead in front.
One of Central's strategies is that they try to get it in the hands of the right bloke. If you can't kick the distance from 50 or outside 50, they'll keep swapping around until they get a longer kicker. Now, Daniel Healy isn't playing today, but he's one of their designated kickers from 50 metres or outside. So obviously they've standardised on Michael Stevens as the one who's going to kick from outside 50.
Well, Switala,
sorry.
he just didn't have the distance and he really gave it a roost, and he hooked it in the process and got another behind for the Dogs. So they will now move to 8-2-50. Sturt at 5-2-32.
The gentlest of easterly breezes has sprung up. Maybe it's pushing the ball, but I don't think so. But the breeze is just getting up a little bit, pushing the ball to the left-hand side.
Sturt just methodically chipping the ball away. Finally, outside 50, it comes to Campbell. Sets himself and kicks long, going for White. And over the back was Hay. Couldn't take the mark. Then the tap, it went the wrong way to Cooper. Now to Clun for Sturt. They're on the run, looking for Chambers on the lead. Good mark. One of the most secure of kicks. We'll just wait and see what he does. Goes in long and high, looking for White up forward. Oh, and just brushes aside his man too easy. The umpire says that's a mark. One of the Gowans boys having a bit to say. It's all fair and square. What do you think, Michael?
I thought Stephen White just played it a little bit too far.
Well, we'll wait. We'll get a replay on that in a moment.
Yeah, I reckon you'll see that Geister actually goes to body White and falls over.
Well,
I reckon he lost his own footing.
Yep.
Actually took his eye off the footy. As soon as you take your eye off the footy, you're in trouble. Went for the body. White takes the mark.
Just has a quick glance at the goals. Ooh, he hit it hard. Wait on the umpire. I think it's a goal. Oh. Certainly happy. So full points for Sturt, and they hang in there, don't they? They're now just trailing by 2 goals.
It's no coincidence that Stephen White's actually stepped up this quarter and making contests, taking a couple of grabs. He is really the key for the Sturt forward line. You see James getting there quick. See that? Geister's gone for the body. As soon as he took his eye off the ball, he's missed White's body. White's been able to shrug him aside. He's fallen over. White takes an easy uncontested mark.
And he fell over, Geister, just like White did then. It was too easy, wasn't it?
Daniel Shell getting a run on the ball, playing in the ruck. Arnold was at full forward. He's now been replaced by Kynan Ford.
Ball favoured Conway. He took it out of the contest, tried to get it on his boot. Slipped out beautifully to Gowans by Arnott. Up to centre half forward. Good contest there by Slade, the little bloke. Hands and knees. He must try and get it out though. Does so now. But we'll have to have a bounce down. Just in between the 50-metre arc and the centre half forward line for Centrals. They lead by 12 points only. 50 plays 38. Sturt have just persisted. They've kept themselves in this contest.
I wouldn't have thought Daniel Shell would have played too many times in the ruck.
No, I think you're right. Maybe back in under 12s. He's having a go though. Got his hand on that one. Squire got a touch. Clun tried to get his out. Was smothered, but Squire picked it up again, made it up easy for him. Weatherall played it on, got it to Sheedy, and Sheedy played it well. Knew he was going to get tackled. Just slapped it in front of himself. So Sheedy with the free kick. They will persist. He's going to drive it up towards White, who's on fire at the moment. Comes forward, Atkinson just taps it up. That's Cooper around his body, a huge left foot snap. A huge one's going to come to the front. White, easy goal. As you like. His third for the term, I believe. And he's just waltzing along. And Sturt are really in this contest. They're only 6 points behind.
Thought it was really important that Damien Squire got a touch. He's been very well held so far. The good thing about them was Stephen White actually went up against 3 Centrals opponents. That enabled 2 small crummers to be on the ground. Brody Atkinson was the one that was front and centre, and Cooper. Atkinson just taps it up. You can see the contest there. There are the 2 Sturt blokes, front and centre. Now White at this stage is making his way down to the contest. Geister had actually fallen over in the contest. Gets an easy goal. Sturt are really in this contest.
Yeah, Shell back to full forward where he belongs, forward into the ruck, and a good move from Brenton Phillips. He's spotted that change. He's going to bring Bishop back on because Bishop really did have the measure of forward in that first quarter.
Well, this is the shootout that was promised. We've gone 13 minutes at the Ponderosa, and it's 50 plays 44. Vast expanse of territory to use out there, and both sides using it pretty well at the moment. Sturt working hard. Central's now over the ball, and that'll be Thomas. And just a little push and shove between Squire and one of the Gowans boys.
Doesn't take much to fire him up, does it?
No,
Hey?
Gowans got a bit fired up there. Immediately pointed the finger. It wasn't me, umpire. And the umpire bouncing the ball back in the middle. Centre break's all important. Ford goes against Conway. Ford, I thought, got the hand on the ball. Squire tried to force his way through, and eventually umpire wants it again. Chris Gowans and Squire going at it. Brenton Phillips there with Bradley Ryan, one of the assistants at Unley. They'd be former teammates at North. So we'll attempt to clear the centre again. Very tight in there. Working hard, Conway. Well done. Got it to Clun. They still can't clear the area. Finally, Sheedy did well. The kick around the corner. It's going to go to Hereda, unopposed. Best place, took the mark. Just for good measure, handballed it off to Swatala. Spreads it wide. Thomas, a lot of space in front of him. He's got a runner. It makes it as far as Ford. Ford will give it. No, he won't. Comes back inside. Looks down towards full forward. Backing up was Graham. Well done by the Sturt player at front. Might have been Thurston's.
Yeah, good effort.
Backing in, did well. Nullified the contest. Well, this is a match. 6 points the margin. We've gone 14 minutes in the second turn.
So Conway taken out of the air. Quinton Graham, backdoor handball to Arnott. He was under pressure as he got his kick. Somebody's going to have to fly here. Somebody's going to have to go. Shell was the only one. Bounced out of his arms. Umpire said play on. And we'll have a bounce down. Well, I think everybody stopped because they thought it was a mark. Conway comes off. He did a very good job. And now Bishop will continue it.
I think the umpiring's been very good today, Tim. We saw the Anzac Day where they gave 53 free kicks. Today in the first quarter there was only 4. And so far to date there's only been 7 for the game, so it's been really good.
Has been reasonable umpiring. If you don't complete the mark, well, that's fair enough.
And we gave him a fair bake on Anzac Day, so here's a pat on the back for him.
So only 35 metres away from the Central's goal. Sturt only a goal down. They've worked themselves back into the contest. Thurston's has been good in defence for him. Kicks it towards the boundary line where Wicks will take it over the line. And we'll have a throw in 55 away from the Sturt goal.
Be interesting to see how the Central's midfield actually responds. It's been the first time they've been really challenged for the year, and whether or not they can increase their intensity to match the current intensity of Sturt's midfield.
Well, that was shepherding, ruled the umpire. So shepherding in a ruck contest, forward penalised. It's off to Bishop. Will take the free kick for Sturt. Has a glance, decides to come this side of the ground. Powell takes possession. Powell straightens up. Through the midfield is the better option, he thinks, but Herrera gets in the way. Oh, fortuitous. Here comes Sturt's way. Here goes Howman. Bit of room to move. Howman's kick looking for White. It was pretty good, but it fell short. White trapped it. Gave it off to his running mate in Chambers. Chambers turned one around the corner. Well done. Sturt with possession. Off it comes to Sheedy. Dodged one. Kicked it forward. White again in good position. Takes the mark. The hand pass. Oh, a goal to Atkinson. Oh, scores are level. And 3-2, Brodie Atkinson.
I mean, Stephen White, I spoke about him standing up at the start of the quarter, and geez, hasn't he stood up? I mean, providing him a real target, a real headache now for Alistair Clarkson. I mean, Geiser, who's come back from injury, really needs to tighten up. But it's been the supply that's been able to get there, and their Sturt have been able to pump down. He's just too physically big and too physically strong now for Geister. Played on quickly, gave the quick hands off to Brodie Atkinson in the right spot, made a certainty of the goal. Geez, we've got a real challenge here to Central's dynasty at the top.
Sturt kicked 5 goals straight in this term to Central's 1 goal 2. Working it out through the middle again. So important. Atkinson will hit it hard. Does so. Schulz lets it go through his hands. Atkinson dived on it, but it was kicked out of his hands by Stevens. Powell made a mistake. Slades in on it. Turns it over. They want to lift the Dogs. Forward, runs into trouble. Tries, gets out of it. Gives it off to Stevens. Settles it down with a long kick. Backing back was Wisdom. Great mark. Shell. Plucked it out of nowhere.
I mean, Chris Creswell committed the cardinal sin there of falling over before the contest was there. I mean, all he had to do was keep his feet. He had the front position. We can see it on replay. He had the front position. I mean, I reckon you cop your lot of knife. Be strong in body. Stand up to that sort of stuff. Don't get pushed around by Daniel Shell.
Just lucked it out of the air, Shell. In he comes, 35 out. Normally a good leg. Doesn't let his team down when they need him. They kicks his ball. Impressive stuff, Daniel Shell. The Dogs move away. 9-2-56 plays 8-2-50.
I mean, Mike Parsons hit the nail on the head. I mean, Daniel Shell plays his best football at full forward. In a bit of desperation, Alistair Clarkson throws him in the ruck against Bishop, who is, physically too big. The good thing about that was just his strength, and the great thing is he's kicking really straight today. He would have a setup that he would kick for goal with. He's just running through his routine. He nails the goal. Central's now go to 9-2, leading Sturt 8-2.
James Gowns and Dean Woosnan are obviously best mates because they're spending a lot of time talking to each other and pushing each other.
Well, Sturt just pushing the ball forward to get it out of the middle. This is Squire. Hopwood puts the pressure on him, surely illegally. The umpire says yes. Holding on, free kick to Sturt.
Damien Squire just lifted his work rate in the last 5 or 10 minutes, trying to get himself into the game. Thomas has done a really good job on him so far. He needs to really get into it.
His kick was well placed, but Howman just couldn't pull it back in. He was clever with the hands, though. He got it off to Atkinson, showed the ball once or twice, then takes a short chip, looking for Hicks outmarked, or Wicks, in fact, outmarked by Switala. Switala now looks to the far side of the ground. They've got a runner. Away they go. Thomas. His kick was perfect to Slade. Just couldn't stretch and take the ball out of bounds. Well done by Powell just to put some pressure on him.
Some good matchups in there. Powell and Slade. You've got Wisdom on the Gowans brothers when they change. I mean, I've been enjoying some of their battles.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Sturt are putting pressure on Centrals, pressure they're not really used to. And you can see Slade would have taken that mark probably against a lesser opposition. Just realising he's up against it against a Sturt opponent.
Well, standing all over his opponent Gowans. He might be in a bit of trouble with the umpires. He just got one across the head, Cooper. And Gowans was prepared to stand on him, or stand over him, shall we say. Cooper now on the left leg, drives it up forward, looking for White, just gets his man in front of him. Now it still comes to Big White, around the corner, a chance, no, minor score.
He's very much a confidence player in this Stephen White. I mean, he just plays purely on confidence. And early on, Sturt weren't getting supply down to him, giving him the opportunities. This quarter, they've got plenty of the footy down to him. He's very much cock-a-hoop at the moment. Could be a very dangerous player for Sturt for the rest of the day.
3 marks and 7 possessions this quarter.
Also 3 goals to White. Stevens with the ball. Around his body, wasn't very clean. Made hard work for Higgs. Backed his own mistake up and kicked it towards the boundary line. So well done. Cleaned up what was a mistake, and they can reset over there on the other side of the Ponderosa. Half forward for Sturt, who only trail by 5 points in what's been a fantastic game so far. 21 minutes into the second term. Thrown in, Howman did well to Sheedy. Back on the floor, Swatala. Pushes it forward. Taking it hard was Graham to Ford. Nearly smothered, but he got his kick away. Bello did well to get rid of Curtis. Runs the ball in front of himself. Curtis is right on his hammer. It's a great contest. Don't give away a free now. Bello lost his footing. James Gowans wants to just try and weave it back to him. Kept his foot, got around Curtis and had a snap at goal. But just a little wide. And registers another behind for the Doggies. 9-3-57 Sturt, 8-3-51. 6-point ball game, second term.
Wasn't that a great contest between Curtis and Bello? Who was going to be the first one to fall over? And it was Curtis that fell over. And Bello got the result. Unfortunately, Gowans couldn't finish.
Sturt worked the ball from defence. Beautiful kick to Weatherall. Weatherall has a look, looks inside. They've got runners, they've got plenty of runners. Can they use it properly? Clun gets on the end of the hand pass, looks up forward for White, sits it up to his advantage. White loses his feet. Now it's Chambers. Chambers off. Atkinson turns, gets it back to Chambers. Chambers got another runner. It's Clun again, the man who delivered it in the first place. Off to Sheedy from 20 metres. Oh, miss. Just away to the left.
And with not a hint of bias in your calling there, Neil Cross. The good thing about Sturt was that they were really clean with their hands in there. They just kept shoveling it around, and the more Central pressure put on, they didn't panic under pressure. And that is really the difference between the first quarter and the second quarter.
5 points as Hay brings it back in up towards centre forward in front. Bishop, it's been great today. Really impressed with this young fella. Onto his left, smothered. Don't do that to me. Schultz had the ball kicked out of his hands and will have to get a free kick. Ryan Schultz. So, ball relayed back to him. Should give it off quickly, does. Finds Sheedy. Now he's found a bit of it. I'll ask him, Mogridge, how much he's had.
He's a very busy player. That's 11 kicks and 4 handballs.
Yeah, knew that. Thurston's good player with poise from 68. Bombs it to the square, bombs it long. Deister got a hand to it, just inside. Oh, sensational play. 53 plays 57. It is on today.
Well, they tried to bring the ball in quickly, Centrals. The umpire pulled them back from that rule that says the umpire must finish waving the flags as we have another look at that long bomb. Gee, half a yard. He knew his distance, Thurston's. He knew he was a big chance.
Yeah, Stephen White's got to come back harder then, try to get Geister out of the contest. The difference could be a couple of points at the end of the day, and it might just mean a stronger body from Stephen White.
Oh, look out, almost a mistake that was very costly. Just the kick from Hay, just sat up a bit and allowed Squire to come across and knock it out of bounds for Sturt. It's still inside their forward 50.
See, the Central's decision-making isn't as clean as what we've seen in previous weeks. It's just that pressure that Sturt are putting on them.
Well, they didn't have a ruckman there. They managed somehow. Well, they almost got control. Sturt now over the ball. Atkinson battling in there. Finally, they work it out. Hicks got off a nice pass to Arnott. Took the mark. Just backwards of the centre for Centrals. Look inside the corridor. They're off and running again. Slade off to Hicks. Hicks, oh,
Pressure.
trouble. Clun, well read. Cooper, quickly. Sturt hands again. Schultz Schultz goes long. They've got 2-on-1 back there. And Chambers takes the mark. Well done. The turnover crucial in the midfield.
It's almost if they've changed jumpers in this quarter. I mean, Centrals are doing exactly the same thing as what Sturt did in the first quarter. When all of a sudden they're making wrong decisions, which they haven't done in previous weeks. Sturt are putting that pressure on them. You can see the resultant of a turnover in the midfield with Chambers a shot at goal.
So Chambers, an opportunity to give Sturt the lead. I think I might be correct in saying it is the first time in the match Sturt would be in front if he can kick it. That was one of the most awful kicks you'd ever wish to see. Central's now through Hopwood with a chance to clear it from the defensive area. Underground Hereda. Oh, bad mistake again. Hereda missed his man. Brodie Atkinson just in there looking to hold it in. He couldn't. As a result, Centrals will come quickly away.
Arnott with the ball. That is an horrendous kick from Chambers.
You just cannot do that, can you?
And a trainer's going to get in the way. No, Arnold avoided everybody and kicked it to another trainer. But Hicks comes in, intercepts. This is unlike Centrals to make so many ball handling errors. There's some genuine pressure on. Powell in there, wraps him up in the tackle, and we'll have a bounce down. Good pressure, and it is exactly as Andrew Rogers called it. It's Central's turning the ball over this term as it was Sturt in the first.
Brenton Phillips will be really happy with the amount of pressure they're putting on Centrals, and you can see they're getting the results to address their hard work, their tackling, their harassment.
Some bad bounces, that was one of them. They've umpired well though. James Gowns did it well. Too easily to Slade. 60 out, goes to a vacant goal square, but it's come off the side of the boot. They're going to bounce and beat everybody over the boundary line.
In such a tight contest, I mean, a bounce like that should be able to be recalled. I mean, what does it matter if you actually recall it rather than, look, let's let it play on with Centrals getting advantage from a 50-50 contest. Look, let's recall it and let's start again.
Umpire's advisor, Shane Harris, take note. He is here today. I wonder if Bello can kick a goal. No, it's off to McGowan. McGowan on the left leg. Misses. Just as you say, just that pressure that perhaps Centrals haven't seen this season, and certainly Sturt in the first term looked like a side that hadn't seen too much pressure.
The key to the whole play then was the ability to bring the ball over the back into space to open the goals up so you can get a Pingett goal.
Powell drives it long. That's not a good kick. Oh, Clun in front did well. Schultz back to Clun. They're starting to win 1-on-2, 1-on-3, but that's holding the ball. First score would have been the best one.
Yeah, exactly right, Timmy. Had the option there to give it back to Schultz. Didn't react quick enough. Turnover.
Arnott long. Contest with Shell in front. Gowans front and centre. They do it so well around his body. Sensational. Oh, what a snap, Chris Gowans. Brilliant goal to give the Dogs a bit of breathing space. 10 goals, 464. Sturt on 8-5, 53.
In both quarters today, Centrals have got late goals. I mean, they kicked one late in the first quarter, one late in the second quarter. I mean, Sturt have worked really hard in this quarter, and Gowan's just pure class here. I mean, that's great play. Front and centre. Shell made the contest. He gets front and centre. Turns a footy. Look, I'm not overly happy with that, but if you can kick him like that, why not? Gives Central an advantage going into half-time.
The Twins have each had 11 possessions and each have 2 goals.
They are mirrors, aren't they? 11 points, the margin in favour of Centrals. Travelled 28.5 minutes in the second term. Centrals will take possession through Sutala on this wing. Well, if he can pick it up, now under pressure. Bulldozed into the ground after he got the ball away. Hereda's kick wasn't the best. In the end, it's over the top of Gowans. Out of bounds. Cooper was the player there, number 41 for Sturt. Gowans, Chris Type, still talking to the umpire, as they do. Centre wing, grandstand side. You can hear the crowd in the background, and it is a very good crowd here at Elizabeth. Sturt working hard in the pack at the bottom. Recognise that player when he gets up. Cooper.
They really have worked a lot harder around the contest in this quarter than what they did in the first. Exactly what Chris Sedgold spoke about at quarter time, and then Brenton Phillips reinforced.
Bounce again. Bishop trying to get a jump at it. Weatherall takes possession, and Gowan's determined to bring him to the ground. Does so, Weatherall. Just hands the ball back to the umpire, and yes, blood rule. Thought he wiped his nose there, and the umpire, Kevin Chambers, says, no, you've got to go off. So just a pause in play for a moment.
Can we take a moment to get to our statistician, Mr. Mockridge, to tell me how many touches that Damien Squire has had today?
Yeah, Damien Squires had 10, 3 kicks, 7 handballs.
Thank you, Ian.
I think the important thing there is the 3 kicks and the handballs. Normally Damien Squire is a lot more constructive with his kicking than he is his handballing.
Bello, just that pressure, just overran it. Wicks rather, just on the ground. Just kicks it up forward. Here's Squire, just toes it in front. Well done. Clun over the ball now. Clun, pressure from Bello, tried to push it towards the line, didn't get that far. Sturt somehow managed to get it forward. Matner off the left leg, under pressure. Just tumbled the kick, and that allows Centrals to come clear.
Ball with Arna. Comes up long with a siren, beats him to end what was a fantastic first half of football. Local SNFL football on your ABC. Central Districts 10-4-64. Lead Sturt at half-time. 8-5-53. 11-point margin.
Hasn't been a great half of football. I mean, we expect it, and sometimes you come to these games and you have a really big build-up for it, and it ends up a blowout. Well, it's certainly not going to end up a blowout here today. Sturt have been wonderful in the way they've fought back from Central's initial burst. Brenton Phillips will be really happy with the way they've worked their way back into the game. Stephen White's given them a great target up forward to kick to. Brody Atkinson's buzzing around his feet kicking goals. For all that, Centrals are still in front. Such is the professional of the Centrals. We keep wrapping up Sturt here in this first half. Centrals are still in front. I mean, they haven't been as clean, and they haven't been under this sort of pressure that Sturt have exerted on them early, especially in this second quarter. So I'm really looking forward to the second half. I'm just wondering as into how much energy and how much exuberance that Sturt have put into this first half, if they can keep the same sort of pressure up on Centrals in the second half.
Stay with us to find out. Here at Elizabeth, Central District 10-4-64, Sturt 8-5-53. What a contest. Third quarter action here at Elizabeth. Tim Ginniver.
So you can get the first goal in the third term, the all-important premiership quarter as they call it. Arnold dragged it back, couldn't quite get hold of it to McGowan as they try to work it out the back. Sturt, Squire, an important touch out of the centre square. White and Geister take off for it. White in the battle, Geister went to the floor. White kept his feet, dived into the tackle, maybe taken high. Umpire said yes. From a distance, he said yes.
Very much experience here. I mean, virtually ducked his head, put his shoulder down a little bit. The only place that poor Geister could actually tackle him was too high. So well done, Stephen White.
Let's have a look at this, yeah. Definitely high. So White, chip pass inboard. Did well, found Matner. He's probably too far out to score. Looks at his options. Heads home, Chambers is up there, and also White nearly took it out of the air. Front and centre, nobody. Picked up by Squire, tried to drag it back. It was Atkinson and Chambers fighting hard. Hicks as well. Geister on the floor, and we'll have a bounce. 25 metres in front of the Sturt goal.
It's really important that the Sturt forwards actually hold that in the area there. They've just got to keep competing, not enable Centrals to run it out and to get their free-flowing game going.
Still an opportunity for a score for the Double Blues. Arnold got it down, did well to Hopwood, off to McGowan. Quick kick out of the pack, and that beats some work here for Slade. Probably 3-1 if he turns it over, he gets it to the boundary line. And then we can restart play over the far side of Elizabeth Oval.
The sitters for Central Districts at the start of the quarter, Michael Stevens, Quinton Graham, who started the game there, and also Adam Spatala.
Meanwhile, the ball is on the far side of the ground, and Hereda and Howman are the contestants. Howman got his palm to the ball, but Centrals take it away through Steinburner. Looks up towards centre half forward. Bishop doubling back for Sturt. Almost paid. Ball to the ground now. Stevens dropped it. Bishop picks it up for Sturt. Looks for the hand pass. Can't get it away. Umpire says, oh, that's okay. Still a ball in dispute. Finally, Centrals farm it out forward. Still on the ground. Bello doing his best over the ball. Thumps it forward. Thurston's dives in there. Stevens was there for Centrals as well. And the umpire, Kevin Chambers, comes in and says, I'll take it. Thank you, boys.
Spoke earlier about Ricky McGowan, how he was tapping the ball on. You can see Centrals there just try to keep the ball alive. Little toe pokes forward, just tap it out in the open, trying to create something out of nothing.
Saw a section of the crowd there. Plenty of people from the Sturt club have made their way up here to Elizabeth. Curtis, fumble. Got it to Tanner. He's in trouble. Loose hand pass could be costly. Walton gets it forward. Oh, one of the Gowans boys not happy the hand pass wasn't forthcoming. James Gowans there. So a minor score in the margin, 12 points.
Gamble running out. Doesn't want to do too much with it. Get it on the boot, but that wasn't a good kick. Found Ford. They blocked off well, Centrals. Ford will give it off to Thomas if he's... No, he's going to ignore Thomas and kick it into the centre corridor. Find Hopwood. Thomas still running. Hopwood going back for his kick. Fairly well crowded. Sturt have flooded back and allowed White to stay in the square on his own. So the kick off to Walton, who's just driving it long now. Up at the bar, but a pack and a great grab, Shell. It was always going to come. A hop, a skip and a leap to take a fantastic mark.
He just lost Chris Redgold there. Chris Redgold, unfortunately, I speak about it each week. If your man goes, you've got to go. Now, Chris Redgold, you can see him just trailing in behind. He's got to make those metres up to make a contest. But, geez, it's a great mark and wonderful to see you there in SANFL footy. Probably don't see enough of it in AFL footy where blokes are prepared to chance their arm. I mean, his confidence must be sky high and good luck to him.
It certainly beat the flood. You must stop a bloke's run like that who can leap. Shell already kicked 4. Been very accurate, kicks 5. Gets the Bulldogs off to a good start. 4.5 minutes into the third term. They're 11-5, 71. Sturt 8-5, 53.
It's probably the breakdown with the flood. You start to rely on your teammates to make contests, etc. And that's probably what Chris Redgold's relied here. He's relied on Woosnam or someone making a contest instead of him actually going. But, geez, that's a great mark. And as I said, his best spot is full forward. He got tried in the ruck earlier in the second quarter. Looked all at sea. He's providing a wonderful contest for Centrals. Finishing with 5 quality goals. I think the Adelaide hierarchy will be very happy with his performance today.
Back in the middle, and Centrals have stretched the lead to 3 goals. A lot of players overrunning the ball. Eventually, James Gowans picks it up. Umpire says another bounce. We see a lot of that in modern footy, don't we?
Just wondering the effect of heat. I mean, it's 28, 29 degrees today. Wonder which team has probably prepared better for the heat today.
Soon find out. Bishop and Arnold go at it. Weatherall got the kick forward. Sturt briefly with control of the ball. Umpire says, I'll have control, thank you.
Andrew, I'd be very interested to know how you do go about preparing for the heat.
Michael, you would have played at an elite level. You would know that you drink plenty of water, you eat the right foods, including carbohydrates leading up to the game, and drink as much water on the day of the game to give yourself the best opportunity.
I now understand where I went wrong. A few cold beers just didn't cut it.
Wisdom fighting hard on the ground for Sturt. They're working. They've still got their hands on the ball, Clun, but he's unfortunately got a couple of Bulldogs hanging off him, which meant he couldn't dispose of it. There's one fan biting the nails. Pretty close contest, this one.
Take the opportunity just to mention that the Sturt bench is back to right where it was at the start of the game with Conway, Schultz and Geddes, who has yet to raise a sweat.
The ball down again. Woosnam, well, he just couldn't break clear. Arnold looked like he threw the ball forward. Now Weatherall is over the top of, I think it was McGowan underneath that mass of bodies. And again, we'll have a bounce, the ball moving 10 metres at a time at this point.
In 3 or 4 ball-ups, looks all well and tight. It's going to be important who gets this one out now. Let's get it out in the open, running our way so we can run onto it.
Trying to crash his way through was Squire again.
My eyes deceive me, the umpire throw that one up.
We'll have a look, see if he does it again.
I'd be surprised if there's not a third player go up here and actually try to clear the pack.
That's what Arnold's tried to do, but Wicks intelligently intercepted. Drove long down the half-forward Chambers in a one-on-one. Good roving by Hay, though. They always have the numbers in front, Central Districts. The Raider switches towards Slade, waiting for the ball to sit, takes it and drives hard. Away from Powell. Nice kick into Walton. He can go over the top, he does. Running Steinburner. Comes inside the corridor. Bishop up front, holds his head high, takes a mark. Breaks away. Quick handball, Thurstons. Waiting for a player. Switches it out wide to Threadgold. Having trouble picking it up. Now not a good handle. This could be a turnover for Sturt. And Centrals have kept the ball in the area, and well done.
And Chris Threadgold needs to get his hands on the footy just to take some pressure off himself. When Shell's kicked 5 goals, he just really needs to take some pressure off him. See some updates. Glenelgan Port. Glenelgan a surprise. 20 points. Norwood quite comfortably over South down there at Noongar. And we haven't got the third game, unfortunately, but North leading the Eagles quite comfortably.
Be a worry to you, Andrew, as Sturt get the ball out of defence. Just maintaining some semblance of pressure. They get the ball forward still, but Centrals, gee, they handle the pressure very well. And Gowans was taken high and then crunched. And James Gowans will get a free kick. Ironical cheers from the crowd. He certainly had a lot to say to the umpires today about their officiating.
And that makes you wonder if, in fact, that is why he hasn't probably received the free kicks.
Yep. Always interesting the way the human mind works when you're under pressure. So Gowans just chips it in short to Denny Stevens. They're just holding it up, and now they try and spring it. Out wide, Herrera's made some space. Atkinson shut him down just as he kicked it. Oh, and Arnold just couldn't pull in the ball, but he'll get a free kick for a push in the back. Bishop just putting one hand in the middle of the back. So Arnold to take the free kick. The forward line pretty open at this stage. He comes inside, makes a mistake. The turnover. Now it comes to Clun. His handball just wasn't good enough, and Powell has to cover it up. And he did well to disguise the fact that he was actually just trying to kill the ball there.
It's gone from a really free-flowing game to all of a sudden it's just stagnated here for a little while. The next goal is really vital to the whole game, really.
See if you can manage to get a goal, Timmy.
18-point margin. Slade driving through, looking for Arnott. Arnott over the top. Walton wrapped up. Wicks tried to get hold of him. Beautiful work. Got into Stevens, drives from centre half forward, normally accurate. He is again. Danny Stevens. Brilliant play. Gets his first for the afternoon. And the Dogs second for the term. They're 12 goals, 5. 77, 8-5, 53.
I spoke about how important the actual first goal of the third quarter was. I mean, Centrals, you can see their finish off nicely. They open up a bit of a break now over Sturt. I mean, 24 points is a fair margin. It's just manageable at the moment. Sturt need to get the next goal.
Chris Gowans has just come off the ground, just got a little strain of the neck. Nothing too serious. We'll see him again.
So the double blues under pressure. They're just trying to spring the ball at half back. Good little pass from Squire, found Bishop. Then he tried to play on. Squire had to clean it up. Finally Sheedy. Now they spring it wide again. The kick inside half forward, looking for Chambers from behind. Geister came at it. Chambers got it away from him. Fortunately, Howman. Not seen much today, Howman. Now it's off to Chambers again. His handball wasn't the best. They're under pressure, Sturt, no doubt about that. Howman comes at the ball again. Ball on the ground. Stevens, good clean hands to Michael Stevens. Comes this side of the ground. Wicks opposed to Chris Gowans. Gowans takes the mark. He'll get the hand pass inside. Away they go. Down now looking for Arnold, but it came to the front of the pack, and it looks like Threadgold might have come out to centre half back. Sturt now with the numbers. It comes to Clun. He's got an option. He's going to take Hicks, is he? No, he takes on the distance. Kicks it up towards full forward. The bounce, which way will it go? Atkinson trapped it well. Gets it out for Sturt, but just Centrals with too many players there. Oh, Herrera's been trapped. Unexpected somewhat. Just wasn't quick enough with the hands. And we'll have a bounce down. The margin, 24 points, 12 minutes into the third term here at Elizabeth.
Did Herrera have an opportunity to get rid of it?
The last two forward entries for Sturt haven't been clean. They've just made wrong decisions. The kicking's not correct. Now, this don't look as sharp as what they did in the second quarter.
Walton gets hold of this, just talks it out of defence. Woosnam stands underneath it, takes a good mark. If he's up and he's quick, he's got players. He can switch it across, he doesn't. He goes up the line. Sheedy around. Wicks. Now drives it to the pocket of Chambers. Takes a mark, no, spills free. Coupe on his left. Should have got it the first time and kicked it. Hellman will back him up. Gets it out the back door. Weatherald on his left foot, tries to curl it back. Didn't quite get it. And Sturt get themselves a score there first for the quarter. They're 8-6-54. Central's at 12-5-77.
As a consequence of that clash with Woosnam in the marking competition, Schnell has come off the ground. Looks like a serious corked cod.
Is that a nip?
Medical man Michael Parsons. Maybe didn't want me to say who said that, but anyway. Mattner with the ball on his left leg. His kick was perfect to Atkinson, inside 50. He'll go back. He probably is outside his distance, but we'll wait and see. Bello doing a good job of holding him up.
Another half chance here, Neil. I mean, Sturt desperately need this goal just to get it back to a manageable distance away from Central. So they just need this goal now. There's kick one in the first quarter from here. Let's see if he can do exactly the same thing again.
Well, the old legs may suggest he'll struggle, but we'll wait and see. Only 45-degree angle, but he's going to kick from perhaps 45 metres. So Atkinson lines it up for Sturt. Already got 3, and now he's got 4. Should not have doubted him at all. So Sturt is still in this. No worries about that. We've gone 14 minutes in the third term.
I mean, Brady Atkinson showing all his 206 games of experience here. Just happened to be on the end of a short pass. Just took his time, nailed it just when it needed it. Now the move has been made. Brody's actually been moved into the middle to give it some more impetus in the middle. So now it's crunch time for Sturt. Now they've taken away his forward prowess. So it's time for someone else to step up in the forward line. And Brady Atkinson generate some real drive out of the middle.
You had a little chuckle at Daniel Schell's injury before, but it's quite serious. You've taken him down to the rooms to have a look.
Brought out of the centre, great take. Slade. So everybody's pushing back. He's got to move it quickly. Does so now. Backing back Quinton Graham, standing up over the back of Thurston's head. Woosnam cleaned up for him. Got it off to Threadgold. He's having a bit of a day. Woosnam put Clun under enormous pressure. Steinburner stole it. Quinton Graham hooked it around his body. Curtis has got to do something clever here. Trying to get hold of it. We'll push it towards the boundary line. Kept it in play with Woosnam. He goes to the boundary line and we'll have a throw in. About 25 metres around from the Central's goal.
And Dean Woosnam, whenever the professional women, there were Sturt players in the area, but there was no doubting his intent was to get the ball over the boundary line. Let's start again with a 50-50 contest.
Bishop and Arnold drag down the Clun, who's been good. Just got his kick away. Gonna have to hit this hard, Cooper. He does. Tackle. Tried to get his handle away to how many didn't tap it to anybody in particular. Arnold got hold of it. Off to Steinburner under pressure. There's a lot of tired players. It's been hot today at Elizabeth. Great snap by Hopwood. Got it to Michael Stevens from 50 out. Comes to the top looking for Chris Gowns. Went through his hands. Quinton Graham tries to dodge 2. Slaps around on his right leg. This could be special. But it's not. Another behind for the Dogs. 12-6-78. By Sturt, 9-5-60.
She had a lot more time than actually he produced in it. All he had to do was really straighten his body, run straight at the goals and kick the goal. Try to do the specky thing and kick around the corner, turning the football. I harp on it each week, but could be the difference at the end of the day.
Threadgold brings it in short to Woosnam, who's immediately looking to play on. And he almost ran himself into trouble. Powell is in a lot of trouble now. Loses possession, turns it over. Centrals, they'll come back strong. Look out. Out at Danny's, Michael Stevens rather, around the corner. It finds in the pocket Wicks. Lucky, very lucky, the double blues there. Wicks is still going to take his time now, I'd suggest.
Daniel Wicks has been particularly good today, I think.
Now he plays on, straight across goals to Woosnam. Woosnam's trying, but geez, had some ineffective plays, hasn't he? So Woosnam in short with a kick, or rather stabs the pass towards Sheedy. Sheedy's got an overlapping player in Wicks, as Michael suggested, has done very well today, Daniel Wicks, but that kick, well, it really gave Centrals too much of a look at the ball. Squire was good enough to push it in front of him. He's still got the ball in front of him, and eventually it's out of bounds. But it's at half forward left for the Sturt Football Club.
You can see the updates from around the ground. North Adelaide by 15 points over the Eagles, so the Eagles have closed the gap. Glenelg by 21 over Port. and Norwood getting away from South down there at Noongar.
Matner streaks away from the pack, kicks it long towards White, one-on-one, and this time Geister has a good victory. He comes out wide with his central players galore. Space in front of him, Arnott. Over the top to Gowans. James Type can switch to the centre. Does so. Beautiful left foot pass. Finds Danny Stevens on the edge of the square. Comes out. Marco Bella can keep running. Quinton Graham attacked it hard, but great tackle by Matty Powell. Takes him about 4 miles outside the defensive 50. Now driving up towards the wing position with Threadgold. Looking for Matner. Gets his legs taken. He's back to his feet quickly. Speeds away again. Must kick. Does so. In front was Hopwood. Drives it towards the boundary line and it goes over. And at the 18.5-minute mark of the third term, it Central's by 18 points. 78 plays 60.
Well, there's some great individual efforts here. I mean, you had Powell down the back making a great tackle. There's a lot of great individual efforts here trying to influence this game.
So the ball in dispute yet again. Umpires will come in. Bounce the ball. Slade, he's been good, effective around the packs. 19 minutes plus played in the third term. Central's by 18 points. Just a little errant boot in there, and that's good enough to give a free kick to Sturt, yes. Young Central's fan there. The ball comes back, and it'll be a free kick to Weatherall. So Timmy Weatherall squares it up to Sheedy. Plenty of dogs back in defence, and that's making it hard for Sturt to go forward. Off to Hicks now, Wicks rather. So Wicks with possession, still outside 50. He's looking for a short one, but there's not a lot of space around. Now he goes, looks for Howman, and White came late, and in the end it didn't matter because the Central's defenders got the ball across the line. So just about to cross the 20-minute mark in the third term, and 18 points is the margin. Is Daniel Scholl back on the bench after...
Yes, I just spoke to the doctor, Neil, while you stumble your words. Doctor said, just a little bruise. He promises you didn't have to kiss it better.
Thanks for that, Michael. So we're still in the forward line of Sturt, just on the 50. A lot of pressure there from the Dogs. They know the importance of a late goal. They've done it so often, Andrew.
They have. I mean, they generally get the first goal of every quarter, and they generally get the last goal of every quarter. So they really put a real emphasis on that. So it's very important, this last goal of the third quarter, to give you some sort of impetus into three-quarter time.
So Stevens works it out on his left leg, comes up towards half forward. Good attack on the ball by Threadgold. Schools free, ends up with Bello. Bello with his left foot drives towards Ricky McGowan with courage, ran back, took the mark, and he said, play on, Rick, and kick yourself a goal. The veteran gets his first for the afternoon, and the Dogs, an all-important late one. 13 goals, 6. No, we'll go on to 14-6, 84. Sturt 9-6, 60.
Can never question Ricky McGowan's courage. Eye on the ball all the time. If you want a great example for a younger player, or any player in particular, I suppose, if you keep your eye on the footy, you're a real chance to get it. Ricky McGowan never took his eye off the ball. Gets the benefit, runs into an open goal, gets the cheers from the crowd as he comes off. So a great competitor and a wonderful team man for Central District's Ricky McGowan.
So 4 goals the margin, and they come forward again. Well, Matman did well, and now he's in trouble. And he's been pinged for holding the ball. Steinberger held on to him. Matner did well to smother the ball, and he took possession, and he was immediately seized upon, and the turnover is costly. Gowan's now at the ball, ducks back on his left leg. The short pass was perfect to Danny Stevens, and Central's will line up for what could be another goal in time on, and they are crucial.
They certainly are, Neil. I mean, I keep harping on this, but they seem to really target the start of a quarter and the end of a quarter. I mean, time on goals are really important. As I said, you go into three-quarter time with a real buzz around the place. If you Sturt, they get this goal, they go down with very little impetus into three-quarter time.
And, well, he's just astray with that shot for goal. I was going to say, look out if Central's ever concentrate on the middle of a quarter, because if they're concentrating on the beginning and the end, they're doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they're certainly a very good side, Neil.
Thread goal. Kick out. Finds Curtis. Goes wider still. Out there's Xavier Campbell. Up the line to hold his head high. Spoiled away. Umpire said it might have beaten them all over the boundary line before Stevens could take off.
Sturt have actually changed their strategy. I mean, they were running the ball through the midfield, through the centre earlier, especially in the second quarter. Now they're starting to chip the ball wide. It's just that pressure that Centrals are exerting to change their game plan.
Ball going to find itself hard to get out of that conglomerate of players. The umpire will have to sort them out with a bounce. So we're 23 minutes into the third term. Central District's by 25 points. Still can't get clear, so we'll have another bounce.
I'd be really surprised if Centrals try to bring this back inside and try to create someone, and Slade's just sitting inside, so they should try to create some space for Slade to run inside.
Picked up by Sheedy around his body, but it was out of bounds before he did it. So we'll have a throw in over there. Far side of the ground. Right half forward for the Central Districts team. Been a good quarter for them. Thump forward, Campbell must get rid of it. Over the back, Sheedy trying to win a possession, can't do so. Over the back of his opponent, and we'll have another bounce down as it slows down towards the end of this third term.
Again today, the Central Districts have rotated people off the bench. Little innovation from Alistair Clarkson and the Brains Trust at Centrals today. They're not bringing the player going onto the boundary line. He's sitting in the dugout until the other player's off the ground. Hopefully give them an extra minute while the opposition work out who's going to pick the new player up.
Well, again, the opposition unable to work out that Denny Stevens was free inside 50, and he'll have a shot on goal. And this will be an opportunity for Centrals to kick the fourth goal of the term. And the applause is Marco Bello coming off the ground. We'll get his replacement from Michael in a moment, as Denny Stevens, unlucky to miss last year's grand final. And he's just astray with that kick as well, a minor score. Michael.
Yeah, Ricky McGowan was the player that sprinted from the dugout and onto the ground on that occasion.
Two real opportunities there for Danny Stevens to really put this game away late in the third quarter. Just hasn't quite finished off like Centrals would have liked. Still gives Sturt a sniff coming into the last quarter.
Thread goal brought it out wide. Found Wicks. 26-point margin. It was 11 points at half time. Powell drove it up with a handball. Campbell, they're running it. A la the handball game. Gets it off to Wicks as the siren sounds to end the third term. And what was the beauty for the Central side? They managed to kick 3 goals, 4 in that term. And Sturt just managed to kick 1 goal, 1. But it finished up three-quarter time. 13 goals, 8, 86 Central. Sturt, 9-6, 60.
See how professional the Central Districts unit is. They just tightened the whole game up. They decided not to play the shootout like was happening earlier. Sturt were getting on top in the second quarter playing the shootout. They just tightened the whole game up. All of a sudden they created packs. They started to work their way around the packs. They were good in close and they finished really well. It's very hard at three-quarter time on a hot day in May for Sturt to come from behind now. Now it's about a 5-goal difference. They need to kick at least 5 goals in this last quarter. The key to him is Stephen White. He really stepped up here in that second quarter. They're going to need him to step up again, probably kick 3 or 4 goals for the quarter to Sturt to run over the top of Centrals in this last quarter.
So three-quarter time here at Elizabeth. The Premiers, Central District, 13-8, 86. Sturt, 9-6, 60.
Quarter begins to the expectations of a great crowd here at Elizabeth Oval. Conway back in the ruck, drags it back to Weatherall. He's got a good handball out to Sheedy, tried to get over to the running Squire, off the boot, does well. Chambers attacks it hard without the footy, paid a free kick. It's exactly what they needed, a centre clearance.
Yeah, Tim, you're right there. The centre clearance, I mean, just the soccer off the ground was important from Squire, just to keep the ball rolling Sturt's way. Chambers doing the right thing and playing in front. Gets a reward for playing in front. Had a similar shot here late in the second quarter. Didn't kick it well. Now is it very important for him to kick this well.
Well, this is time to make up for that mistake. It's going to be about 48 metres as he kicks on the 50, drives it long, and he's going to be off to the right-hand side. So not what Sturt needed, but gives Centrals a little breathing space. They're 25 points in front at the start of this last term.
That goal, or point rather, I mean, the goal would have had a great influence over Sturt. Would have reinforced that positive they spoke about at three-quarter time. Now he misses a goal. Unfortunately, it's back to the drawing board. Centrals have control of the footy.
They make use of it. Hay running it out. Now it's off to Steinburner from Hotwood. But the kick just had a little bit too much carry as a result. Matner, who was like on a merry-go-round there for a moment, but he got it out of bounds.
Sitting down for Centrals to start the quarter, Marco Bello, one of their better players today, Kynan Ford, and Quinton Graham, who's taken a bit of a poke in the eye, but I think he'll be okay.
Sheedy just got the hand pass out before perhaps the umpire decided it was holding the ball. Now Thurstons puts his head over the ball. The umpire says that's good enough for a free kick. So Sturt will have an opportunity to go inside 50. They aim at Chambers. Oh, crunched. Well done. Player in front was McGowan. Now it's off to Hicks. Hicks goes to the far side of the ground to Chris Gowans and just traps it inside the boundary. Then goes straight down the line. The punch came from Bishop, but Walton did very well. Got the ball away, kicked it into some space. Woosnam, well, he went to ground perhaps unnecessarily. Now it's James Gowans, tripped up, got the ball forward. Switala tracked across by a couple of players, including the skipper and Threadgold, and will have a bounce. Greg Blewett, Doggies fan. Yeah, look at that. Very happy to see the way the Doggies are going at the moment. Bit of unfortunate news for him during the week. Dropped off the ACB's contract list, but he'll still be, of course, turning out for the Redbacks this season. So the bounce down. And again, we'll have another bounce.
It is cricket weather too down here. So enjoying the weather on the boundary line for Sturt to start the quarter. Xavier Campbell, Reece Schultz, who hasn't played a lot today, and Matthew Cooper.
Just looking at those other games, Glenelg got 13 points over the beloved Port Magpies of Timmy Ginniver. Norwood comfortably by 44 points down at Noarlunga. And obviously we haven't got a score from the Eagles game. Andrew, that's bad luck.
Breathe the sigh of relief there. Looking at the scoreboard here, it says North are leading by 9 points, so the Eagles have closed the gap.
Another familiar side, Jason Gillespie.
Also a Centrals man, I believe. So the Dogs, will they do it for their beloved supporters here today? To take Slade, chipped in by Arnott, finds Hotwood. They just sneak down, don't they, from defence? And people don't run with them. Here's another one. Arnold, should be an easy goal. My grandmother could kick that, and he has. So, 14-8-92, Sturt 9-7-61. The margin just blows out.
Spoke about the all-important first goal of the last quarter, and it's gone to Central Districts, and they really blow it out now. It's nearly a six-goal lead. The bad thing here was, look how much time Arnold's got to play on and kick the goal. I mean, Conway is a direct opponent. He's got to be somewhere near him, at least manning him up when Centrals have got the footy. So a bad start to the quarter for Conway and for Sturt.
Margin 31 points now. The Centrals boys are cooking again, just chasing another big victory. Said they've had 4 wins this season in excess of 10 goals. Just been magnificent, and they are dominant. And at the moment, they look like being unbeaten heading through 6 rounds. Just an update from that Eagles-North game. And as we said, North by 9 points at the moment. So the grand finalists of last year struggling so far this season as Wicks takes the ball, kicks it in long, looking for White, holds his man out. Well done by Geister, just got it away from him. Now the battle's on as the ball goes towards the boundary and just escorted over by Geister. I noticed a bit of cramp there for Paul Geister, and you'd be surprised if some of these players didn't pull up with a bit of soreness after this game. Big crowd at Elizabeth. Game very well supported. Sturt needing a goal badly. Howman, his kick smothered. Arnold, just a loose hand pass off the Thurstons,
Oh, great.
turns it around. Oh, great goal! Well, out of nowhere, Sturt gets the one that they really need.
Toby Thurston's played mainly the game at centre-half back today, has been pushed forward, looks as though he may have even been thrown onto the ball a little bit. Followed his play down. See, the great thing about that was he actually lifted his leg really high, so he's got a great deal of distance on the kick. It hasn't really helicoptered or spun incorrectly. He's got a great kick around the corner. Just the impetus that Sturt need. Now, they've answered Central District's goal. They desperately need to get this ball firstly out the middle and to get the next goal.
Interesting from Sturt, two big guys in the centre square, both Thurstons and Conway starting in the middle.
Thurston's very mobile. Let's see if Conway can get it down to him. Headed towards him, but Sheedy takes it out of the middle. Snaps it around high. Chambers has got to make a contest, does so. Atkinson sat in front, dished it off. Squire dodges it around, does well, accelerates on his left, looking for White. It's not going to get there. Bounce was kind to him. White's been taken to ground, and the umpire said, I'll have to bounce it. It's 50-50, fair enough.
Yeah, I reckon the umpire should always respect the bloke going for the footy. If he's got the courage to go for the footy, the bloke swinging off behind him hasn't read it as well as him, so why should he get a reward for his lack of initiative, I suppose?
White tries to get it down to his little players. Chambers crashes in, taking in a good tackle.
Yeah, Conway's come off the ground now, so I think it was just a bit of confusion from Sturt that had two ruckmen in the middle. Poor work from the runner, Jeff Robinson.
Oh, the Gowns brothers are in it again. Chambers has been taken high. I think Chambers, as he fell, just tried to give McGowan a little bit extra, and the Gowns didn't like it. They came over the top.
My impression was that the elbow was going back, not to handball.
Yeah, but Chambers has done well to get himself a free kick, and now he just better not let his team down. He's got to kick the goal. Just, yes. Okay, just cheek doctor, obviously.
I mean, the important thing there, Tim, was that they didn't react to it. They didn't try to hit him back and that sort of stuff.
Oh, he's kicked the goal.
With the goal, which is great, but they didn't react to it. I mean, it's quite easily. They've got the free kick. When you've got the kick, make sure you hang on to it. Don't give it back to the opposition. And they get a bonus goal there through an undisciplined act by one of the Gowans boys. Exactly what Sturt needed. See here, just in the pack. I mean, great for the umpire. The umpire spotted it. We don't need that sort of stuff in this NFL. Goes back, kicks the goal. Finally, he's kicked a goal when they really needed it. He's had two previous opportunities and hasn't kicked it. He's finally kicked one. All of a sudden, the game's alive.
It is alive, and Sturt coming off their worst quarter for the year. They just kicked 1-1 in the third term. That's their worst effort for the year, so they should have plenty in reserve here, you'd think. Central's working hard through the middle. They come clear through Slade. Did so well. Gowans, he thought he was going to be shut down, so he just gave it off to his brother. Now Switala into goal. Gets it on the boot, and well done. Who was that who tackled him?
Damien Wicks.
That was well done by Wicks, yeah. Just got a hand on him. Just as he kicked the ball, it was sufficient for Sturt to get control through the behind.
And it's those little acts there, they're going to make all the difference and could really change the momentum in this game.
Thurston's plays on quickly, 20-point margin now. Sheedy, wide, Matner gets the running Weatherall. They seem to be running Sturt. Onto his left foot, drives it up long. Chambers got to make a contest, takes a great mark. Turn around, boy, turn around, never turn your back on the footy.
Yeah, good call, Tim. I mean, sure, take the onus on you to kick the goal, but if you're ever going to walk back from taking a mark, walk backwards so you can see what's in front of you. I mean, a guy could have run to the goal square 30 metres in the clear. He's walking back with his back to the plate, doesn't know he's there.
He's in full concentration because he wants to kick the goal. He kicked one in the first, one in the last. Can he make it three? Oh, good leg. Good leg. Great leg. That is his third. Sturt at 12-7-79. Trailing Central Districts 14-9-93. It's only 14 points or 13. And I'll tell you what, pressure is on.
Just, I like the way Sturt ran the ball then. I mean, Matner gave it out to the Sturt runners out wide, and playing in front was Chambers, which is important. Now, Hay tried to take the mark, get a fist on it. I mean, unless you're 100% sure you can take the mark in defence, get a fist on it. A great follow through there, a great finish. You can see he's excited. Now, all the momentum's with Sturt here. Get this one out of the middle, get another goal, put some real pressure on Centrals.
Second season at the club for Chambers coming from the west from Subiaco, and Sturt go forward again. It's in his area. The hand pass comes out. Central's under pressure. Clun running up and down in the spot. Steinburner certainly wasn't. Gets it around the corner. Oh, out in the full. Danny Stevens extremely unlucky. The ball just bouncing towards the boundary line and out in the full off the bottom of the knee. Or below the knee, it has to be, of course. So therefore, it must have come off the shin. Now it's Mattner. He'll just drive up to those twin towers, but the ball smothered off the Steinburner. He lost control of it, gathered it. Now he goes long, looking for a player at half forward. Nobody there. Curtis takes the mark. Sturt running, no doubt about that. Bellows taking a dive, and the umpire has penalised Curtis. And I don't even know if there was contact made there. That was a superb piece of acting by Bellow.
Already missed.
There was no contact, and he had hold of his jumper. Poor decision from Kevin Chambers.
So a crucial decision from Kevin Chambers to come in and turn that ball over. Steinburner backs his pace, gets around Curtis, kicks it up forward, should be intercepted by Bishop, and it is. Great mark by the young man. The young ruckman gets to his feet. He'll want to hand it off. He's not the safest of kicks, so he hands it off to Woosnam, who hasn't been the safest of kicks for Sturt this afternoon. Looks for Mattner, gives Steinburner the chance over the top. Clun over the ball, bundled over by Bellow. And the crowd really warming to this game, believe me.
Certainly right into it, aren't they, Neil? The crowd's getting into it. It's great press on overall footy. Centrals are being seriously challenged here today, and see if Sturt can continue doing it.
Well, Woosnam fumbled again. He's got it back up, or has he? Oh, in the back, was it umpire or holding the ball? He's picked him for holding the ball, rightly so. And the free kick to Arnott. And, well, Gowans came very close to turning that ball over again then. Now Arnott inside to Stevens. This is Danny Stevens to take the kick.
Good players keep their heads here.
And Danny Stevens kicks it in long with one of the most awkward kicks you'll see. And again, it's Bishop, the young ruckman, taking a mark. He'll want to feed it off. He does to Thurstons. Looks up, not a lot on offer in front of him. He goes as long as he can. Howman tripped up, couldn't get to the ball. Comes to the back. Oh, well, the umpire let that one go, surprisingly. I thought it was holding the man. Chambers took his player to ground. And eventually Centrals get the ball out wide and too wide. It's out on the full, a turnover.
I think also Alistair Clarkson will find out a little bit about the Centrals players and the younger Centrals players, what they're like under a real game, under real pressure.
Squire drove the ball high. Another contest. They're sitting front and centre. And it really is on 14-point margin. There's plenty of time left. 13.5 minutes played in the last turn. So I'll tell you what, the crowd are getting into it too, because they haven't seen a Central side at this time of the game under this much pressure.
Kind of forward just coming on for Arnold. I'd say the instructions from Alistair Clarkson would be to kind of forward, run forward so that you take Bishop out of those kick behind the play situations.
Arnott takes the ball. Good cool head, spun around, nobody in front of him. Has to do something. Tackled off the football. Bishop tackled him. Dragged it back. Picked up by Gowans just along the ground. Finds Danny Stevens, beautiful hands to Bellow. That's a good cool head, and that produces an easy goal to Bellow. Doggies, breathe again. 15-9-99. Sturt 13-7-79. It's a 20-point ball game.
Just purely through hard work. And what it was one decisive handball from Danny Stevens that broke it open. Everyone else has been missing targets, not being real positive in the way they're playing. All of a sudden, Danny Stevens, a real positive handball to Marco Bello on the run. No one near him, runs in, has a bounce, finishes nicely, relieves the pressure a little bit for Centrals. Sturt need to come again.
Back in the middle, and Central's come again. Gowans, the hand pass. Oh, just one hand pass went astray. That was enough for Thurstons to end up with the ball for Sturt. He goes wide with his kick, trying to turn it around the corner. White, he's come out from the goal, so he's at centre-half forward, I think. Sheedy gets a hand pass off to Wicks. Now off to the McGarry medalist Squire. He comes across the ground and Mattner waited for it. That was dangerous. It was, in fact, too dangerous. It leads to a turnover. Steinburner puts the afterburners on, then kicks it up forward. Oh, well done. Arnott just backed into the pack. Now he strolls in from 50 metres. His kick was pretty good, up inside the 50. But well done by Geddes. The umpire didn't pay the mark. Oh, I can't believe that. Woosnam did well. off the Geddes, now to Curtis. Curtis near the line, over the line, and out of bounds.
It's pretty hectic, isn't it, Neil? I mean, you can see the crowd's into it. Players are making mistakes under pressure, whether they're a little bit tired. We can see the Geddes mark. Well, I'd say he controlled that well enough to pay that.
Well, Chris Gowans, a handball of sorts. Now it's off to Arnott. Cool head, kicks it up high, in front of goal. Gowans comes back, almost pulls off the mark. It's off to Woosnam, now to Bishop. Turns it over, Chris Gowans. Well tackled by Clun. Action aplenty and finally kicked off the ground. Into the behind post, and Clun and Gowans are into it, and Clun gets a free kick. Well, he'll be targeted now. Look out, Chris Gowans has given one away, and Clun's got a free kick for Sturt. They can bring it out this side to Thurston's.
Yep, just Thurston takes the mark. Tries to push off, don't turn it over. Bellows one of the best of it.
Both Centrals do that really well. They hold the mark up, gives their opportunity for players down the ground to man up, slow the game down. So you can see now Toby Thurston's with no options to kick to. Eventually has to go short, just really burning up time.
Let's go over the line now. Got Bishop, should aim there. Does so. Bishop with his leap should take it. Does. It's been good today. Big challenge for him.
He's really stepped up in this last quarter. He's making 2 marks deep in defence. He's getting himself really involved.
6 marks today, and that's his first kick.
Drives it long, it's not going to hit a target. Hopwood easily. Can switch play, which they love to do. Just got to look in the corridor straight away. That's where they'll go. Walton. Wider still. Shell back on the ground. Can chip over the top. They've got space galore. Switala can drive in long here. There's Ford on his own. And takes an easy mark in the pocket. Only about 30 metres out.
You can see how well drilled Centrals are. They switch to play, and of course all their players know exactly what's going to happen, so they break for the other side where all the space is. They had an overlap. The ball ends up with Kynan Ford. He should finish, could really snuff out any real chance the Sturt have got to win the game.
Hasn't kicked one today, Kynan Ford, so he'd like to get this. Spend some time in defence and on the ball. Normally a good leg. He might have just kicked it a bit. Central fans like it. What do the umpires say? Yes. So that could be it. Very good goal to Ford. Put Central Districts 26 points in front.
The Sturt have been very brave today. I mean, they can certainly take a lot out of the day. Central's just been this little bit too composed here late. When they challenge, Sturt challenge, Centrals have been able to regain their composure. You can see Ford on the end of the transference of play. Goes back, kicks a nice goal, puts them 26 points in front. Look, the game's not over. Sturt can still mount a real serious challenge here, but they're running out of time late in this last quarter.
Yeah, good coaching from Alistair Clarkson as well to bring Ford on to do exactly that.
Steinburner takes on the opposition. He's pulled the ground. The umpire says, I'll have it. So we get that secondary bounce, which has become a feature of the game. Just looking around the grounds, Eagles by 4 points. They've come from behind against North. What do you know? Glenelg by 21 over Port. Tim is worried. And Norwood by 44 points. They look like they have that one in the bag, but the others are up for grabs. This one looks to be in Central's control, but Howman did well. He fed it out wide. Wicks, in turn, gets the 1-2, back into the Central corridor. Oh, well done by Hopwood. He's a dual best and fairest, and that's why. Brilliance from defence. Hands it off quickly, and now Ford drifting towards the back of the pack, takes the mark under pressure from Geddes. Umpire will surely call that back. He will. He'll say you've got to play on from behind the mark. And it's still Arnott is short, drifting on the far side of the ground. He'll look back into the sun, and that's where he sees Michael Stevens rather. Comes to this side of the ground. Drifting over here is Steinburner, and Woosnam just let go of the ball. Steinburner shoots around the corner up into the front of the goal. Almost a one-hander. It comes to ground. Through, rushed for a point. Umpires picked a free kick, holding the man, and Daniel Shell will have a chance to add to his 4 goals for the game. 5 goals for the game, in fact.
They just persist, and the Centrals, they're irrepressible at the moment. I mean, they just keep going and going at the same pace. They keep working and working and working, very disciplined. Once again, they're going to go on for a nice picture today.
Well, they've won all their games fairly easily. 37 points was the nearest anybody's got to them, and that was Port Adelaide. And Daniel Schell's just put that one through for a easy goal for Centrals in the end, and that's his 6th.
He's had a really good day today. I mean, as I said earlier, I mean, he could have really dropped his bundle. You find a lot about the character of people when they get dropped and when they face adversity. Now, he could have come back to Centrals and sulked, not had any influence on the game, but his character is so that he's got back into their culture at the club, and he's been really good today with his 6 goals. Got all set up by Heath Hopgood being able to read the play on the half-back line, read what Sturt were going to do. He provided the rebound. He's a very, very, very good quality player, and with his last 2 best and fairest in premiership years.
Thurston's in ruck. That's forward. Won the tap, Thurston's. Got it down to Squire. Snuck a little kick out. Hitting it hard, Hay. Arnott, Hay again. Arnott again. Back up their own work. In numbers, Central District. Slade punches a pass out. Danny Stevens looks to his left. He's got a player. Too easy around Curtis. Kick wasn't great. Shell's on the lead. Chris Gowns is out there with him, but he winds it back. Sutala drops it in, tagging the ball hard. Thread goal, takes it to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in 30 metres around from the Central's goal.
Like Chris said, Gold's had a pretty dirty day on Shell. I mean, it's great to see him still competing and still setting an example late in his last quarter. He went to the contest, made the contest, got the ball out of grounds. His teammates can learn a lot from him.
Might have given himself the corky there too. So it's Centrals. James Gowns, quick goal. Thurston's comes from the ground. Shell! Quick kick around into the corridor. They're disciplined, and Shell's on the end of it.
He has had a big day, hasn't he, Daniel Shell? I mean, Chris Gold doesn't really matter what he tries. Nothing has seemed to work for him today. But you're right, it is a discipline of Central Districts to bring it back into the corridor. You see they brought it back into the hot spot. Their players know that they're going to centre it up to that spot, so they make their way to it. Daniel Shell should finish this off for his 7th of the day.
So blow it out at 37 points. It does. That's his 7th. And the dog supreme at Elizabeth.
It doesn't seem that long ago we were talking about Sturt being really in the contest. You know, they were 13 points down, had all the momentum, and all of a sudden Centrals have turned around and they kicked 4 goals in probably 7 or 8 minutes to put the game beyond doubt. I mean, that little burst there can really paralyse other sides, and they've certainly just been a little bit too good for Sturt on the day.
Toby Thurston's has come off for Sturt, just feeling the hamstring, so it looks like a little twinge there for the powerlifting player.
There's 4 goals in 10 minutes from the Dogs at the end of this game. And it's just put the game beyond reach for Sturt. Double Blues working hard, but in the end, they're going backwards. Bello puts a tackle on Clun, and they will have a ball up at the edge of the centre square towards the Central District end of the ground. They're kicking to the right of screen, and they're doing it pretty well in this last term. Shell comes over the top, full of confidence. Curtis takes the ball, but again, Sturt just unable to get forward. The handball's finally has released Woosnam. He kicks to the far side of the ground, nothing much to aim at. His kick was perfect though for Wicks. Wicks now back, and they'll go over the top of Sheedy. Sheedy will take the mark, but he's still a long way, maybe 80 metres from goal. Looks up to a pretty closely guarded forward line. Now they work the 1-2. Sheedy hands it off to Wicks. Wicks closes. He'll go inside 50. He'll close on goal. His kick wasn't the best, and it's a turnover to Geisler, and Centrals will come clear. They immediately break to the grandstand side of the ground.
That was a tired leg, wasn't it? 38-point margin to the Dogs at the moment. Shell at half-back. He's kicked 7 today. Drives up to Chris Gowns. Quick give to Danny Stevens, who's been fantastic at times with his hands. Kicks it to the boundary line. And at the 25-minute mark, we'll have a throw in about 80 metres away from the Central's goal.
Now's the time you find out about the Central's rotation, how they've rotated their players through the middle. They certainly look a little bit fresher than the Sturt players, who haven't had the same amount of players rotating through the midfield.
Geddes quickly to the boundary, stays in. Plum makes sure it goes over. Just all important times, 14-point margin. Central's just stood up and blasted. Thrown in. Sun setting here, and the sun setting on Sturt's valiant attempt at the contest today. Cooper, who's been good today, he's competed well. He's had plenty of it.
9 and 10 for Matty Cooper.
Drives up with his long left foot to half forward. Taken by Howman and over the line, says Hereda. We've got to get that ball over the line, and he's got a bit of cramp as well. You'd expect that on a hot day.
And what a good job Brian Hereda does week in, week out. Very seldomly gets beaten. Once again, he's done a really good job on Howman today.
On the back, Steinberner should get it up. Couldn't get it past Schultz. And over the boundary line once again. So as this contest draws to an end, just appreciate the tiredness of the players, because they really have put on a fantastic show here today. Great local footy on the ABC. Geddes, Schultz, kick away now. Centre half forward White with Geister, who's done well to tighten up on him. Hereda, great kick. Slade over the top, running Gowns. James tight, one bounce, might get run down. Give it off to Denny Stevens, who just always slows it up and assesses play. Goes to an empty goal square. Woosnam tries to get there, so does Threadgold. Well done forward, kept it in. Scooped up by Woosnam, but not paid, and it will be a behind to Centrals, and they'll go to a 39-point lead.
They just keep working and working. See him working through the midfield. The Gowans are still running, Sturt are unable to go with him at the moment. So the midfield that I spoke about, of being able to rotate through the midfield.
Some tired legs out there for Sturt, just unable to take control of the ball. Gowans wrestles his man to the ground. It's Weatherall, I believe it is, under there. So it's a 38-point, now 39-point margin. And that means Port is still the side that gets closest to Centrals, and that was 37 points under lights at the Adelaide Oval a couple of weeks ago. As Sturt breaks the ball into the open, they haven't done that too often in the second half. Now it's Walton, Howman over the ball, Walton tackles him. Finally it comes out, Hereda off the ground, Sturt with an opportunity, and touched and smothered out of bounds on the far side of the ground. Beyond 28 minutes in this final term at Elizabeth, and Centrals have it under control.
As you mentioned, Neil, Hereda off the ground, just starting to cramp up a little bit, so time for a rest.
No point in risking injury as the legs get tired. Switala trying to push it forward with Slade off the deck. Hay over the top. They really do work in close well. Switala drives long, Threadgold in front. Attack the ball hard. Got a little handball off to Geddes. Conway drives on his left foot. Middle of the ground where Atkinson is. Played his role well. Brodie drives it up to Chambers. Nearly hands on it. Clun could have roved it. Got himself a late goal but missed. Hopwood cleans it up. They'll be tight and hard now. They won't want a late goal against them this defence. Hicks. Back to Geister. Chip up. Good contest there. Tutala tried to get it to the boundary line. Picked up by Weatherall. He's driving long. Great mark, White. Just had to sit on Hopwood and did it quite easily. So he could reduce the margin to 33 if he scores. And he's had a reasonable day. It was all in the third term for White. He kicked 3 goals then.
7 possessions in the second quarter and only 9 for the game.
And that says it all. Ian Mogridge, the stats.
Really does tell a story about Stephen White, doesn't it, Tim? I mean, he can really, he's a confidence player. He got his confidence up in that second quarter. Played a great quarter of footy, just couldn't sustain it. Been out of the game for too long. Misses to the left-hand side. I mean, it just that miss, but also that second quarter when he was really on fire, Sturt were really in the contest. Now all of a sudden he goes missing. Sturt fall away. They haven't got a regular target up forward, and unfortunately he hasn't been able to maintain that for the day.
Obviously Brant Chambers, we can see the reason that he would be coming off with his blood coming from his face, probably his nose. Is that right, Michael? You're closer, obviously, than I am.
I'm closer, but the eyes aren't quite that good. But as he gets closer, the red starts to glow across the bottom of the lip. It looks like a bleeding nose.
Well, we've just gone beyond 30 minutes. You see there the clock ticking away. 30 and a half minutes, and the margin 38 points. Just waiting for Tyson Hay to bring the ball in. Kicks it to himself, comes this side of the ground, and then the hand pass. And that's the second time they've done that today, so it's obviously one of the kick-out drills. Walton backs up, chips it over the top. Steinburner with space to work in, takes off, and so goes the siren. Pretty good contest here at Elizabeth, but at the end of the day, the Doggies, as they have been all season, too good. The final margin, 38 points. Central District 18-10, 118 to 12-8, 80. And a really fantastic effort by the Doggies.
Yeah, they were certainly the better side on the day. I think Sturt can take a lot out of this game. They were very brave in defeat. They toughed it out really well. They seriously challenged Central's, especially early in this last quarter. But Central, showing all their class, were able to pull away in the end. I mean, just the rotation in the midfield that it enables Central to have this. They've got too many quality players in the midfield so that Sturt couldn't match them on the day. Stephen White couldn't stand up and do enough for him up forward. I still think Sturt can take a lot out of the day, given the injuries they've had, given that they get a few blokes back in, especially some tall forwards, which will trouble Central's maybe come finals time.